Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Hustle shall make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes, yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best
A
interest.
place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020. I am so excited. I got my fellas here today. Definitely going to get into some great conversation. I know we definitely got to dial in super fast tonight, because I got a lot of stuff to really go through tonight and see if we can get it all tonight. Might not be able to get it all tonight, but I got a lot of things that I did want to display and show the family. So, Major, thanks for coming back this week with us. I know last week you had to handle some business, and Bobby Drake had to hold it down for us. Gave us a great topic last week, and he did a phenomenal job chopping it down. But yeah, so now you back on board with us this week. Super dope. Let's get it. Let's get it cracking. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So the first thing I want to start off with is a great quote by Marcus Garvey. I saw my boy Bobby Drake had posted this in the Manifestations 2020 family. If you guys are in the group on Facebook, if you aren't in the group, make sure you log in. We get a lot of information from out of there from you guys. So if you are on the Facebook group, Manifestations 2020, join in and start posting in there and let us know. We'll take some of this stuff out of there and post it on the podcast. All right. So this is a great quote, true manhood. So few of us can understand what it takes to make a man, the man who will never say die, the man who will never give up, the man who will never depend upon others to do for him what he ought to do for himself, the man who will not blame God, who will not blame nature, who will not blame fate for his condition, but the man who will go out and make conditions to suit himself. The Honorable Marcus Garvey stated that. Did you want to elaborate a little bit on that, Bobby, and let us know why that was such an interesting piece for you to throw inside the group?
No, for me, it was pretty much self-explanatory. We're talking about men building men and building themselves and reach that next level. And plain and simply, that right there to me is what the ultimate man is ultimately going to be like. When you take away all the titles, when you strip down all the accolades, the wealth, the size of the bank account, everything else, when it's just who the person is, who the man is, for that man to have fully evolved and reached his ultimate level, that's it right there. That's in a nutshell. That's what every man should be striving to be right there. The definite self-sufficiency, right? And not just self-sufficiency where he's able to do for self, but where he's so overflowing with resourcefulness and resilience that other people can come to him and he can lend his strength out to them and to be an anchor for them as well too. That's what manhood ultimately to me is about. Now, I'm just me. I'm just Bobby Drake. I don't speak for the whole world. That's just my vision of what it looks like. But if anyone were to come to me and ask me what it is, that's it right there. And even if that doesn't sync up with what other people think a man should be, that's okay too. But those people should have an answer as well too. That's my answer. Correct.
Well said. So I did want to add in that based on that, what a lot of us been talking about, our people have been dying from the lack of knowledge because a lot of people act like they either don't want to know, they're not learning, or, nobody's out there to give them the great information to make them, strive to be in that pattern or path, or even like you say, just to formulate some kind of statement that when somebody asks you something, at least you can state your point to however that perspective is based on your situation. So, we just want people to get ready, understand things, be a man, be more assertive, but also knowing that the knowledge is what protects you out here. And when you don't have that knowledge and you're not keen to understanding the different ways that you can be attacked and the different ways that you need to protect yourself so other people can respect your protection and walk away from you, these are the key elements that you need to understand. Otherwise, from that, you're going to be part of the slaughterhouse, the sheep's in the slaughterhouse. You don't want to be that. You want to be the wolf on top of the hill, or the shepherd on top of the hill, guarding the other people who probably might not be as powerful, whether that's the women and the children and the elders. You know what I'm saying? But we need more fierce warriors out there with a lot of knowledge to protect our people, so that way they aren't targeted and look as weak prey. All right. So with that being said, I did want to go into a Proverbs, right? So Proverbs 14:1-3. A woman's family is held together by her wisdom, but it can be destroyed by her foolishness. Proud fools are punished for their stupid talk, but sensible to and can save your life. And the reason why I brought that up, let me give a clearer version of that. By the mouth of a fool comes a rod for his back, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. A fool's proud talk becomes a rod that beats him, but the words of the wise keep them safe. So while we out here talking about this, and this is one of the topics that I really wanted to talk about, tonight, is that basically the benefits of keeping it real and how that can be so powerful in the long run. A lot of times people don't understand that the different perspectives of having quality wisdom around you is so infectious that it goes throughout the whole community and the whole society. That's how you make better people in society, when you have great infectious leaders that is leading the people in the right direction. And some of those leaders are right inside your household. Those leaders can be your wife. Those leaders most likely is the husband. But either party is responsible for some form of leadership that should be infectious enough that when you leave outside of that house, that it also carries out into the world, into the society. All right. So with that being said, a lot of people, I made a post the other day, and in my post, I want to make sure that I quote myself the right way when I state what I stated on my post. So let me pull my post up real quick, and basically go word for word on what I said. All right, because it had some people ruffled, and it had some people in their feelings. All right, so I said, Noah Lyles is the prime example of how your cockiness and arrogance can knock you right off your path towards a legendary greatness. Confidence and staying level-headed will always balance you out towards the greatest outcomes in life. And the reason why I said that is because it was a lot of things that were going on, things that Noah Lyles said before the Olympics that came back to kind of bite him in the butt during the Olympics. A lot of things he was doing in the Olympics that just wasn't adding up, and exposing kind of that cockiness character, which ended up throwing him off balance for what he was, supposed to be out there doing. A lot of people didn't know that 100 that's not Noah Lyles' specialty. His specialty is really the 200. But he did do an impressive job in the 100, because I think he prepared more for the 100 because it wasn't his specialty, and then end up losing in the 200. And I think the adjustment balance, because he had the way you sprint for 100 is different from the way you sprint to a 200. And I think that might have kind of burned him out. But there was also some things too that he also did that was very, I want to say, more egotistical, which is another form of arrogance as well. It was very egotistical for him to hide critical information that would have ended up costing him his life in the long run. And this is why I say when I was calling him out, I wasn't calling him out like everybody else was calling him out on some other stuff, because what they were calling him out on, I wouldn't call him out on that. I was calling him out on the specificness of certain cockiness and attitudes that I saw perceived in this Olympics that kind of threw him off his balance away from the greatness that we knew that young boy could do. Also, what you got to understand is that I'm coming from an elder's perspective. I'm pretty much in the elders type of range. When you have a young child as such as Noah Lyles, he's actually been working his way into the Olympics from the age of 12. He's 27 right now. So you can imagine that he didn't have a life pretty much outside of the Olympics. He really probably didn't have much of, that hardcore teaching and construction of molding him in a way to be very dominant and productive in a mindset, not really in his performance, because his performance, he has it. But in a mindset, you have to be dominant in all aspects, because there's going to be times where your physical is going to be there, but you could get defeated by your mind if your mind isn't set on the right track. Your feet could be lined up on the right track, but your mind might be off track. And if your mind is off track, no matter how fast you run on that track, you're gonna end up being curved off into the ditch. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was that a lot of people didn't understand the difference between arrogance and humbleness. I saw a lot of people using the word humble, arrogance, and I think a lot of people conflate the two of arrogance and humble as the same. And because they thought that I was telling them not to be arrogant, that I was associating with him to be humble, and that's furthest from the truth. If you're a black person, and I tell this all the time, and shout out to my homeboy Curtis. He was a super dope dude that's on my Facebook. And we had a talk, and he actually sent me a link and tagged me to the link of the Maroons. And he said, he was like, man, I kind of have to disagree with that, because our arrogance is what our ancestors used back in the day to do a lot of dominance. And I said, yes, you're correct, right? But that was a different form of the mindset that our ancestors had, versus what today's quote unquote arrogance looks like. So when we started chopping it up, and he said, you know what, Aunt, I see exactly what you're talking about. And, much respect. It's always good to have men that can have that dialogue to come to an understanding, because the general gist of it looks kind of chaos. That's why I tell people all the time, if you don't know where a person is coming from, don't assume on a general level, ask them specific questions. And then when you realize what they're talking about, you can say, you know what, I see where you're coming from. So I just want to show this real quick, which is the difference of the confidence and the arrogance, just through some basic definitions. And I think as much as arrogance also needs to be up there with the word narcissist, because I think a lot of times people misuse arrogance so much that we plastered on somebody that we think is arrogant. So when somebody says something about identifying something that is arrogant, or see some kind of characteristics that a person could be portrayed as arrogant, then all of a sudden you just automatically in your head like, yo, that's crazy. Oh, there's good arrogance and there's bad arrogance. And I heard that talking point before, and I would definitely have to disagree on that. But that's just my personal opinion on that, as far as good and bad arrogance. And let me just go through the definitions that we could chop about, right? So the first is confidence is a belief in oneself and one's ability, while arrogance is in an insulting way of thinking or behaving that one comes from believing you or are better than others. Confidence can lead to the positive self-assurance, empathy, and openness to collaboration, while arrogance can result in the dismissive behavior, a lack of empathy, and inflated sense of self-importance. All right, next. Arrogance is the opposite of confidence. Arrogant people are insecure. They don't allow their minds to wander, because their superficial confidence requires them to be right, to believe they know everything. This makes them rigid and unwilling to listen. How does an arrogant person behave? An arrogant individual tends to overestimate their abilities and accomplishments while underestimating the abilities and the accomplishments of others. And I can point that out with no allows, like I'll point out in a minute. But there may also display a dismissive or condescending attitude towards others, believing that they are inherently better or more deserving of success and recognition. That also is a part of Noah Lyles when he talked about the NBA, and we'll get into that a little bit later as well. In arrogance, a form of narcissism, right? So arrogance typically stems from an inflated sense of self-importance, while narcissism involves a deep need for admiration or validation. A narcissistic personality disorder involves a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior. All right, got a couple more in here, and then we'll get it cracking. Am I confident or cocky? A person who is cocky tends to impose their will, flaunting what they believe to be a position of power to get what they want. When questioned, the cocky person may respond with a variation of "because I say so." But contrast, a confident person doesn't insist on one way of doing things. All right. Is confidence a form of arrogance? Confidence emerges from a genuine belief in oneself, leading to the positive self-assurance and openness to collaboration and empathy for others. Arrogant, however, stems from insecurity, resulting in inflated sense of importance, dismissive behavior, and a lack of empathy. All right. Confident people don't need to boast about themselves, while arrogant people flaunt their perceived superiority, often to try to suppress or not draw. Confidence is how we feel about ourselves to ourselves, and arrogance is how we feel about ourselves in relation to others. While confidence and arrogance may seem like the opposite forms of expression, there is often a fine line, a gray area between them. And that's why I say a lot of times people will they will kind of confuse themselves, or they'll mislabel arrogance with confidence. And there's two separate entities of the two. Some ways to be confident without being arrogant includes watching your words, acknowledging your areas of weakness, owning your mistakes, celebrating other people's successes, noticing your body language, not taking yourself too serious. And here are some examples of a confident behavior: seeing challenges and opportunities to learn, being willing to take risks, actively listening to others, not judging others or oneself harshly, motivated, being assertive in communication. And here's some examples of arrogant behavior: attempting to intimidate others, refusing to learn from others, fighting with one's opinion, putting people down in front of others, showing off in business meetings, being rude to subordinates, and giving unsolicited advice. All right. So that is pretty much the breakdown of what I just wanted to get the fundamentals of the two out, because like I say, a lot of times people conflate confidence and arrogance together, and there is a line between the two that separates the two, so that way we don't mislabel people. Because I think a lot of times a lot of people don't really understand definitions and understand words too much, and they label people a lot. And I noticed that sometimes when you look at the realms of women, you even have a lot of women that use the label of narcissist on men, but when you really break down the two, you'll start to see that the one that's labeling them has more narcissistic qualities than the one that they put in the label on. So with that being said, like I said, a phenomenal young dude. He's super great at what he do. Can't knock him for that. But when it came down to it, I think it was the situation where I was watching a bunch of stuff that he was saying. One of the things that he said was, I think I have it here. Let me see if I got the video for it that he said. Hold on, let me see if this is it. I think, yeah, here you go. All right, so let's watch this video real quick.
The thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented.
All right, so I wanted to show that because that was one of the videos he did. I think that was when the NBA won the championship, and it says world champions, right? And he had a problem with that and saying, oh, well, y'all not the world champions because y'all only playing in the US. Is he right? Yes, he's right. But the label has been put on world champions way before he was even born. Um, and then for you, this is what happens when it comes down to the US. The US now won the world's championship basketball because, in the Olympics, they just won it. Shout out to Steph Curry for doing an amazing job and getting them the gold. But when they won it, then that's when they came out in the press and said, we don't play for bronze. And that was a slight dig to Noah Lyles. But I felt like that, to me, was very wrong for them to do, especially on the world stage. Both of y'all from the US. He's a younger dude. Y'all, Curry, I think Curry's up there, way up there. Curry's in his 30s, right? I think Curry should be up in his 30s. LeBron's damn near almost 50. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much the rosters, everybody else, Durant and all them, are in their late 30s as well. So for you guys to be elders, I don't think it was a great move for you guys to throw this young brother under the bus who's learning. We've all been at that point where sometimes we just make little mistakes, but that's why we have elders and mentors and professionals around us to correct us and say, you know what? I feel where you're coming from, but that wasn't the stage or even your fight to even say that. That was a conversation for you to have behind the scenes in order for us to get together and probably put something together and say, hey, let's change it to have, U.S. champions versus world champions on whatever, title they have it on. Another thing that he also said that I thought was really, really messed up for this young dude to do, and which was he was pillow talking on a podcast with some guys. He was on a podcast with some guys, and he was on there pillow talking with the guys with the things his girlfriend said. Now his girlfriend is from Jamaica. I think her name is Brumfield, Julie Brumfield, I think her name is. And she had told him, because she was part of the Jamaican team running and everything. So she knows the logistics and the ins and outs of Jamaica and everything like that that's going on. And they're having this conversation just like any guy has a conversation with his girl. You're going to talk about things. And the thing she told him was like, who was injured? The guy that he was running against was Keyshawn, the Jamaican runner from Jamaica that ended up having his foot across the line. And then they were saying, no, it had to be your body. And that's why Noah Lyles ended up winning, because his torso was past the line, even though Keyshawn's foot was way ahead of the line. So that was the big controversy between the two. They almost had identical times. So that's why the photo finish really determined the winner, and Noah ended up getting that. But she was telling them that, Keyshawn's been injured. There's another phenomenal athlete from Jamaica. He's also had injury things, and she was just giving them updates on whether he was running or not, and other things that were going on, the drama between the girls inside there, from Shelly Ann to Sharika Jackson, and all this other stuff that was going on. Just mad crazy Jamaican mess, chaos. And he ended up going on the podcast and spewing everything that his girlfriend told him. And because he did that, the people, especially a lot of Jamaicans, I was watching a lot of people from Jamaica end up making videos and everything like that. And they end up going on her Twitter account, and they were ripping her on Twitter so bad that she ended up shutting down her Twitter account. And I felt like that was not the place for a young man to put his girlfriend in jeopardy like that, just by pillow talking on a podcast, about personal information that she told you. That was something that you were supposed to, little nuggets to probably put you up on training or to be aware of something, but not for you to go on the podcast and say that out loud in front of the whole public. There were so many other things that I can't really think about right now, but it was just a combination of a lot of things that I saw. His demeanor came as a bit of arrogance, and I just called him out on that particular situation of the way he was conducting himself that kind of threw him off his game. Like I said, he's a phenomenal young dude, but I think that he has a great future ahead of him. Maybe he takes this time where everybody's just, throwing things out there. He takes this time to rebuild himself, refocus himself, and end up continuing his greatness that he need to be on. But I think this was a self-reflecting moment that he could utilize and take for himself. But that's what I had. I don't know if you guys seen anything in the media about it, but that was my take on it. And anybody that has any questions, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So if you want to come on stage, because there was a lot of people that had some disagreements with it, but if you want to come on stage, we are more than happy to have you on stage. But I hand it over to you guys, and you guys can chop it up.
Mm-hmm. That was a lot, man. Hell, I forgot some of the shit I was gonna say.
My bad, man. I just wanted to put it out there.
Let me see. The kid just talks too damn much. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like what I get, and I think with age he'll mature. I think he needs some more, elders in his ear, to give him some game, because he's real game goofy. He don't know, how to conduct himself in that capacity. Very talented brother. I wish him all the best, but if your lady is first of all, she shouldn't have told him shit. If we keeping it a buck, if we just gonna be
come on now, come on, Major. Nah. Why? That's your girl. Your girl gonna put you up on game.
I'm not saying that she's not, but she shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you're supposed to be loyal to your faction. You dig? And she wasn't, if we keeping it a buck, because that information that she's giving him could give them a competitive edge. You dig? And don't be surprised if going forward in the Olympics, they may start having regulations, against people who are fraternizing, making them sleep apart from each other, because that information, whatever information she's giving, could give him or his teammates a competitive edge. And that's just not fair if we just being 100. You know what I'm saying? So in the first place, she shouldn't have opened her big ass mouth. And more broadly, anything that you talk about in a pillow talk capacity, when you're laying there, with your girl and you speaking, that's pillow talk. He wasn't really pillow talking with them. He was pillow talking with her. You know what I'm saying? And anything that you say with your girl in a pillow talk capacity really shouldn't leave the goddamn room.
Yeah.
Pillow talk is not supposed to leave the room. That's why it's called pillow talk. You understand what I'm saying? It's something between you and your lady. It's not supposed to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's another glaring flaw. Conversation should have never left the bedroom. One thing that really bothered me about that situation is, a lot of these Jamaicans with their coon ass colorist insults, talking about you black piece of shit, you black ass this, you black ass that.
Yeah.
Why it gotta be all that? You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem with what she did, that's fair. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he put her in the position for them to be, angry and upset with her. That's fair for them to be angry and upset. But all of this, self-hating Negro shit, all this coonism, that's what I have a problem with. Because she's a very dark-skinned sister. And every other insult was you black ass this, you black ass that, dating that dog ass American. That was the other thing. You understand
cake soap conversations.
Come on now. And so unfortunately, and I understand that this doesn't apply to all Jamaicans, but there is a real problem with many Jamaicans. And this self-hating coon mentality that, one, it somehow makes you lesser to be a darker person, and two, that you are somehow a lesser person if you are of another ethnicity. particularly if you're a Black American. Them bitch ass Jamaicans was really, really going in on Sha'Carri, by the way, too. Do you know they were claiming the girl, the one from St. Lucia? She's not Jamaican. They were claiming her. They were claiming the girl, the one from St. Lucia,
Correct.
because they were saying, at least she beat Sha'Carri.
Yeah.
At least she beat that American bitch. At least what?
That was real foul, man. It was real foul.
So, unfortunately, shout out to my Jamaican brothers and sisters. No shade to you if you're not a coon. But to the Jamaicans, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't on that shit. And this is, I love my Pan-African brothers and sisters. I got to go there for a minute. But this is why a lot of brothers and sisters are starting with this delineation movement, and they're moving away from Pan-Africanism. I still believe in the concept of Pan-Africanism. But unfortunately, a lot of people who would be our Pan-African counterparts have a deep-seated disdain for Black Americans.
Yeah.
And it shows up all the damn time, and we're tired of it. And if we're keeping it a buck, if we be in a trillion, the only people who are really active in this Pan-Africanist conversation are Black Americans.
Correct.
And I say that as someone who has a whole side of my family. Most of my family lives in Africa.
Correct.
All right? My Black American side is here, but most of my family lives in Africa. And it's like, bro, we got to really understand, what this is. Now, as far as your statement, the statement that you made here, I tend to align more with the statement that you made here. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Shout out to Sister Tonya. Whoa, we got a few people in the chat. What's going on, y'all? Y'all straight? We got Amy
Michael,
Williams, Fundi Faye. We lit. We here. So,
definitely.
And unfortunately, like I said, a lot of us, we're unequally yoked in the Pan-Africanist conversation. As much as we would like that, it doesn't seem like our brothers and sisters abroad are so much into that conversation. I can think of Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Malema, and maybe one more person that can't come to mind right now. But like, we're all in. They're not. Never forget, Marcus Garvey was, one of the people. He is the person that we credit with the Pan-Africanist ideology and the Pan-Africanist movement.
Correct.
He couldn't get it popping in Jamaica. He had to come here.
Yeah. And that's why I put that quote up. That's why I posted the quote from Bobby.
Right.
It was pretty much lined up with tonight's show.
I'm just saying, so let's not forget that. But and regarding your statement in particular, I think that a lot of people, I agree, maybe get some clarity with you and, try to understand where you're coming from, how you're positioning this exactly. Also, though, I think you could have been clearer in your initial statement. Like the clarifications that you made it a different statement. You know what I'm saying? I tend to align more with the clarity, with the clarified version of what you said than the initial. Because initially, it just sounded like you were making a blanket statement. And I don't particularly disagree with either of them. But I can understand how people would have taken it that way.
You know why I do that, right?
So you can get people to talk.
We got to get people to come here so they can make it.
Stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot, and also getting people to understand, like, you need a broader conversation. Because you know what happens when you go into details? And shit, if Bobby go into details, motherfuckers are going to read like 4 lines and be like, yeah, you writing too much. I ain't reading past 4 lines. You get people that say that shit all the time. But they're listening for 2 hours.
With these Twitter attention spans.
But they're
got to be 140 characters or less.
They'll listen to 2 hours of rambling and mess and drama all day. They'll listen to Tasha K 2-hour episode for gossip. So I'm like, okay, cool. Put it out there. I told everybody, if you got an issue, come here. Let's have the dialogue on air. Got my partners here.
Look, I know that's why you do that too. That's why I come on. I know that you probably got some other shit that has a deeper meaning, but I go in there and engage just to do it. If nobody comments on your shit, I'll go on there and comment just so somebody else can say something because I want the smoke. So I see you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got to do it sometimes. Because bitch ass niggas don't want to think. I
So
said
I'm
what I
glad,
said. See,
I'm glad that you brought up the Jamaicans, because I didn't like the behavior of them, and I also put out, this was key. A lot of y'all Jamaicans, and remember, I have Jamaican heritage.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all Jamaicans didn't even realize Sha'Carri, and what was the other girl that came in third place behind the Bahamian girl? Was that?
I know who you're talking about. So I saw that.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember her name, but it was
not Shelly.
It was the girl from St. Lucia. Then it was Sha'Carri, and then it was another American girl. So what the Islanders didn't realize is that Sha'Carri was lining up with the Jamaicans. I had to point this out. Sha'Carri lined up with the Jamaicans, because remember when her and Shelly Ann had to walk all that time before pre-trial, right? They had to walk an hour to the front gate and an hour. And it was like, yo, but Sha'Carri went and still participated. Shelly Ann dropped out, right?
Yeah, that was
so
strange.
When she dropped out because she was just like, I don't know, it was just too much going on. People don't understand it was the mentality of Paris that really messed with a lot of these athletes, especially the ones that were outside the village.
The black athletes. Athletes.
So a lot of them don't understand, like, that joint had a mental strain, and then you had to walk an hour. You already got to preserve your legs, and now you walk in an hour to get to the front of the gate. It was just real bad. So when people didn't understand that part, where Sha'Carri and the young lady from the US, they actually protested. I won't say it was like a big protest, but part of their protest was not showing up to the podium because of Shelly Ann withdrawing, because they all wanted to race together. If you respect somebody else's speed and she's one of the fastest girls, you wanted to be part of that, so you have no excuses. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, I done beat 3 of the best world girls on here. You know what I'm saying? But because of that, she didn't end up at the podium, right? And the only thing that I didn't like was the girl from St. Lucia was up there by herself. And I had I put on my page, because I had the audio of one of the white reporters when they were asking the champion her questions. And they said, do you feel like it's kind of odd that you're at the podium by yourself? Normally the second place and third place supposed to be with you. And she was like, man, I can only just represent me being the champion up here for my peoples and for my country. I don't know what the norm is. This is my first time here. So I kind of felt bad because she didn't have no sisters around, especially the sisters next to her to embrace the first time moment. You know what I mean? But
it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, it wasn't her fault. And it was like, it was good cause why Sha'Carri did it, because that was very foul what they did to Sha'Carri and the Jamaican athletes as well.
Right.
So that was part of her protest. So a lot of Jamaicans didn't even realize that. And I'm like, y'all so much trying to be at war with each other, because like I said, coming from Jamaica, a lot of people culture wise, or you could say the diaspora, because even Africans do it. Everybody from the Caribbeans, from Jamaica, Haiti, all these other countries, they tell you not to mingle with Black Americans, and they have this narrative that Black Americans is lazy, and that's the farthest from the truth. Because to be honest with you, since I've been in America, I found more lazy Jamaicans than I found more lazy Americans. Maybe that's the circle that I've been around, but I find a lot of them used to take the shortcut, want to rob and steal from people. You know what I'm saying? Big drug dealers that rob other drug dealers and come up like that, or they had parents that really supported them financially, because a lot of their parents made money and they didn't want to do much. They just wanted to fix their car up and just fool around with girls, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of different dynamics that people don't understand, that, Jamaicans don't make themselves a better prize than the Americans. You know what I'm saying? You guys have the same issues that we have. We have the same issues that everybody else have. You just got to find the people that's productive and the people that's unproductive. And everybody in every race and every country has productive and unproductive people. That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it from my perspective of my peoples, because a lot of times when they tell you not to talk to their Black Americans, you find a lot of the people from the islands end up in more interracial dating because they feel comfortable and get more approval from their family members than outside of getting with a Black American. Because the minute you get with a Black American, they say, why did you come to America to pick up a lazy girl? You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of talk that is taught behind the scenes and not really out in the open. But go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's just good old-fashioned cooning. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Basically. It's just good old-fashioned cooning. You dig? And so we got to push back against that, because at the end of the day, man, do you know there's a very good chance that Black people would be free now?
Yeah.
I mean, we would have everything that we want. We would be running the United States right now. We would be the majority population.
Correct.
If it wasn't for coons. Because you know, history, the little Black history that they do teach you, they like to pretend, you know, that Martin Luther King and some choir niggas saying "we shall overcome" until the white people just got tired of hearing it and they just gave us our rights. Fuck out of here. That ain't how the shit went. You dig?
At all. Not even a little bit.
Hey, it was brothers and sisters out there putting in work, and I'm talking about if we take it back to slavery, you know, in the Dr. King movement, it was coons that got Dr. King killed. Shout out Jesse Jackson.
Correct.
You dig? Like, it was coons that got Dr. King killed and infiltrated that movement.
Correct.
It was coons that put us in that position in the first place, because there were any number, there were umpteen slave rebellions that were planned that were thwarted by a goddamn coon. You dig? So I have a special aversion to these niggas, you know, who behave in that manner, niggas that Harriet Tubman would have shot. You dig? And that's what I consider all these Jamaicans. No shade to Jamaicans, but to the Jamaicans that were participating in this behavior. These are niggas that Harriet Tubman would have shot. You dig? And, you know, it's really, really unfortunate, but, you know, you really, really start to see the hatred, you know, for foundational Black Americans specifically when things like this happen. All the girl did was win a race. Aisha Curry, they were harassing her and heckling her, tried to attack her damn family, and the police standing there like they don't see shit.
Correct.
What?
They hit a baby in the head.
I would smack the fuck. Boy, listen, I couldn't have been over there, bro. Like they would have had to arrest me. You did
They were throwing something, and one of the objects missed, and she had the baby on her chest, newborn.
I would have smacked the shit out of one of them
right on the head.
Ass Frenchmen. Bruh.
Boy.
Really? Nah, bro. I
shut this whole bitch down.
No. And I'm saying, yes, Anubis, yes. Yes.
I got finna be a brand new Olympic sport. See if you can outrun me. I'm not running the 100. I'm beating down your door.
Go over there and protect them and move some people out the way. That would have been me. I would have on the top. No lie, no cap.
I just seen it right before I jumped on. I just seen it. I was like, yo, that's crazy. You know? But it show you a lot of the anti-Black hate in Paris. And you got to understand, this is why I tell people all this time, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your history. Because once you know your history, you can protect yourself. See, people running around here talking about the city of love and everything like that with France and Paris. And when you go over there, that shit, you got more of a city of love over here than the bullshit that they promote over there.
I don't know. Paris.
A lot of the food sucks. I've had plenty of people that said the shit smell like sewer over there. The only great thing is
cigarettes.
Correct.
They don't bathe. They don't bathe.
The great thing about it is the iconic Eiffel Towers and little things like that. But outside of that, ain't shit is. Like you in a ghetto with a damn amusement park slapped in the middle of it.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
And they don't bathe.
And it's like, why? Why spend your money in a country that don't love you? Like we gotta start getting on that code of conduct. I think we get so obsessed with trying to be where is Waldo and show up on everywhere on the world in the map, and this shit is gonna come back and bite you in the ass. I just talked about this with the other day. My mother just got back from Jamaica. I went and picked her up from the airport, and we was chopping it up. And she said, "You know what, son? You know, I don't understand. I went to Dubai last year, and I don't see what the big deal about Dubai." She says, "I hate it. I wouldn't even go back there." And she was like, "I don't think people understand how beautiful Jamaica is. Like, you know, just being in that country in itself. Even I seen some other women that said they've been all over. Like I seen this doctor. She said she's been all over, but one place she loved is Jamaica. Like she posted like pictures from there like 3 times out of all the places that she said she'd been to. She posted like 3 times out of there because she said Jamaica is so underrated, so beautiful. But I say that not just to say Jamaica. You got St. Lucia, you got the Grenada, you have all these Caribbean, even Haiti. Me and my mom, we're about to go to Cuba. You know, there's so many other islands with so much Afro-Latin or even Afrocentric heritage that you can be down there and get embraced by your people. And we're running over here to the Islamic land and thinking that it's so much pride because they have built up their land to make it feel like, you know, if you come over here, you're superior. And that's just an illusion, bro. And people get so lost in that, man. Stop going to these countries where these people don't like you or they have a history of doing evil shit to black folks. And I'll land my plane on that.
But they got to know that first. Really quick to tack onto what you said, Ant. It's important. Dr. John Henry Clark, God bless that brother. Wish he was here still.
God bless Dr. Clark.
He said one of my favorite quotes from him ever is what he used to say about history, where he said, "History isn't everything, but it's a starting point. History is a clock that tells people their political and cultural time of day. It's a compass that they use to find themselves on the map of human geography, and it tells them not just where they are, but most importantly, what they must be." So when, like you said, when you know your history, when you understand the history of France, the history, then you understand, and you know your own history, you understand, you know what? This is the place that my black ass needs to be at. Because I know what time it is in human geography and political time. I know what time it is, and the politics says I'm the ops, and they're gonna treat me accordingly. Even on the international stage where the lights are bright, they got cameras and reporters everywhere. They still gonna do sneaky, openly racist stuff. Like they're gonna bar 2 of the biggest types, or the 2 black runners that are most expected to win the whole thing. They're gonna shut them out and force them to walk around so that they might hopefully drop out of the race or be too tired to compete. That's blatant, obvious disrespect and racism right there. Not even trying to hide it. It's not like they did that to 2 runners from Sweden or maybe from some African country with that where no one really expected them to do anything. They took the 2 of the most high-profile runners in that race. You know who they are, and you're gonna treat them that way.
Of course,
that's not an accident. Come on,
nah.
So speak on the other part, Bobby. You leaving out the people that get in relationships with folks that don't look like us, change your skin complexion, and still get the nigga treatment. You know who I'm talking about.
I ain't gotta say a lick about this.
Major, you know who I'm talking about, Major?
I have no idea. Who that?
He's talking about Miss Grand Slam. Yep.
Oh, she was there? I didn't even hear about it. I didn't hear. Oh, yeah. Something happened with her. That's right.
Yes.
They said they ain't recognize her or some shit.
She
got shut out of a restaurant over there.
Yeah,
Did they say they didn't recognize her?
That's what they claim. Come on, man. They know
That's funny as hell because she looked like another old person. That is funny as hell.
Them people find a way just to say they don't know. They knew.
Nah, of course they knew. Of course,
it's the Olympics. Every high-profile business. Look, it's the Olympics. It's literally, not metaphorically, not figuratively. It is literally the biggest international event. Period. It happens only once every 4 years. You have cities literally damn near fist fighting and arm wrestling for the honor of hosting the event with all the
Right.
tourists and everything. Everybody in Paris, even the homeless people out there, are on Celebrity Watch. I hope that they're going to bump into somebody celebrity from somewhere in this country. They know good and hot damn well. Not to mention Wimbledon and all the other high-profile tennis events that take place in France. Bullshit.
Correct.
You know exactly who that woman is.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's been to France and Paris plenty of times playing tennis.
Come on,
knock it off. And that wasn't her first time going to that spot. Knock it off.
They knew.
You know,
but you know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. As messed up as that was, it made my heart sing a little bit because, like,
you gotta be happy.
You know, this whole, whitenization that she's attempted, bruh. It's not even like you're not Aisha Curry's complexion. Who you fooling? Come on, bruh. It's wrong when anybody tries to do it. But Serena, you got that broad, flat nose. You got them Negro lips. You dig? You have real, hardcore, black features. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Compton ass Serena. Compton
The
ass
most beautiful
Serena.
women actually have that look. But you trying to alter your look so that you can look like a de facto white woman somehow. Really? So I'm gonna keep it a buck. I laughed my ass off. I laughed my natural black ass off when I heard that. It just is what it is. Yeah, and somebody just said something in the chat about stripping.
They
stripping Jordan of her medal.
Yeah,
dude, the racism was just otherworldly. And everybody who's watching, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share so we get more people in the conversation. You dig? But these were blatant and intentional microaggressions, towards people simply because they're black. In 2024, really? When we got the first Indian woman to run for president, y'all gonna pull this? You dig? Bruh, come on now.
It's so crazy because what happens is if that was the opposite, if the other girl had got in, the Romanian girl got in, and Jordan was looking out, they would have told her, hey, you got to come back in 4 years and just work hard.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is twice that they screwed up, because the first time they screwed up and they took it from the Romanian girl. Then they screwed up again.
Yeah.
And then they took it back from the girl who was the rightful winner because they corrected their first error, supposedly. How competent are these damn fools? Really? Bruh, I couldn't have been over there, boy. I would have been slapping the shit out of people. Like, I get violent.
Not to mention that horrible abortion of an event with that damn breakdancing Jesus.
Don't get me started.
Yes.
Jesus Christ on a mountain bike. Did y'all? I can't recall the last time I've cringed that. I'm convinced. I might need to go. I might need to go to the dentist this week. I'm not due for another checkup and cleaning until I think September, November.
Ray gun.
I might need to slide by tomorrow because I know I got fractures in my teeth. I've been cringing so hard.
Bruh.
Oh my God.
Oh, she made my ass itch. Bruh.
If I got stuck in a sewer grate, I don't think I could be more uncomfortable than I was watching that.
Real talk, dude.
And people talking, when people talk about PhDs, that shit don't mean shit. What? PhD in breakdancing? Get the fuck out of here.
Just read this. Thoughts on Dr. Rachel Gunn, a.k.a. Ray Gunn.
Ray Gunn. Like Ronald? Nigga, don't get me, bruh. Stop.
She has a PhD and look, I mean, I'm not trying to sidestep the conversation at all, but you want to talk about one of the reasons why education or higher education doesn't hit like it's supposed to, or why it's not a plus? Pull that back up again. Pull that back up again.
Put it back up again.
Why degrees don't matter? Pull this nonsense back up again.
Am I supposed to really respect
this
your degree?
wench has a PhD, not even an associate's, not even a certificate, a PhD, a doctoral degree in cultural studies with, please don't miss this, with a concentration in breakdancing.
Bruh. And yo, you really should have played the video for that shit, because that bunny hop that she did, that shit, like, yo, that's the gift that keeps on giving, bro. Like,
if she's a PhD, I want to pull up her dissertation on breakdancing. I gotta read this.
And did you see the judges panel? Not a Negro up there.
No, I was gonna use the video, but they were playing, niggas was playing the theme music to Beverly Hills Cop 2. And I'm like, oh gosh.
No, did you actually see the actual composition though? Because she wasn't,
thank God.
I don't know what the hell she was doing, but like she wasn't one of the main people. The actual competition was actually dope. I ain't gonna front. There's a Chinese kid won. I think maybe he was Japanese.
Yeah, he was good.
He was nasty. What broke my heart, because he was competing in the championship round against a brother. Oh, he cooked that nigga. I was like, shit.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm really thinking that the brother was up there to really serve the Asian dude the gold on the platter, because what he was doing was basic shit. I'm like, this is the best y'all had from fucking France.
You know how they do.
No, but
that's crazy, because I know that I've seen the breakdancing scene over there in France. They got some. I'm surprised I didn't see Les Twins get it in. Because if you know anything about France and breakdancing, you can't even talk about French b-boying without talking about Les Twins. Them brothers hit.
Oh God, that shit was
insane. Yes,
a PhD in culture function.
Yeah, yes. I want to see the Les Twins up there. I would love to see them next year if they could get up there.
Well, thankfully we won't have a chance to relive this, because I saw that they already went ahead and issued a statement that they're not going to be having it back.
Oh, they're not having it back?
Well, LA is not having it. LA is not having it. But they can choose to reinstitute it going forward or whatever. I mean, we may just have to petition and make them bring it back to get some real people that can compete.
No. Even if it's
they sabotaged on purpose, man.
Oh, of course, because that's how they do. That's how they do the little jabs, whatever. But
I think so.
Even if it was legit, even if they had like real proper judges and everything else, I personally would not want to see breakdancing in the Olympics, because to me, that's not what breaking is. Breakdancing is art. It's not a sport. It's obvious you have to be athletic to do it.
Okay.
Breakdancing is art. If you're gonna, as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna have breakdancing in the Olympics, they need to also have sculpting, painting. You need to have graffiti and tagging. It's art. It's expression. How can people can sit back and say, "Hey, man, that's hot. That's tight. I like how you did that." How can you probably have a committee sit there and come up with a criteria to judge this and say, well, this is world champion Olympic level breakdancing?
Fair.
You are not hip hop. You have no authority whatsoever. Breakdancing might be expressed and done in other parts of the world, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with Japanese folk breakdancing, French folk breakdancing, French Guiana. That's cool. You have no authority whatsoever to try and weigh in and call yourselves judges on an international scale of what this is and what it's not. That's not your lane. Mind the business.
Agreed, but if we could get some real brothers up there, some real people who actually know the culture, I respect that train of thought. I totally respect that train of thought. But if we could get a Kid Capri and what's the other, Red Alert, and some of these other people, some rap aficionados, some hip hop aficionados that can get up there, and really judge it on a fair basis, whereas we know the culture, we know what it should look like. I can see it. There were only, from what I counted, 2 brothers competed, and the brother who made the finals, I feel like, I agree with what Bobby said. I feel like it was a political move for him to even make the finals, because it was another brother that was 10 times better than him.
Yeah.
Didn't smell the finals. The dude from France.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was lit. He didn't smell the final round. I think he might have won bronze. He was dope though, and so I don't even understand how the dude with the blue hair got to the final round. I don't get it.
They know what they're doing. They know what they're
doing.
It's
what they're doing. You feel me?
It's cooking the books, and that right there is another reason why it would never look the way you described before, because that probably could work, and for that reason they'll never do it, because they have an ulterior motive.
I feel like I hear you, but I feel like that's where we come in. We are too willing to allow other people. It should have been a nationwide boycott. You got all these, you got breakdancing in the Olympics, and there's no hip hop aficionado in the Olympics to be the judge. You dig? They're gonna have a competition. Real talk.
Hey, that would be dope though. It's in LA. Shit, I wouldn't mind if they substitute that for that.
But this is what I'm saying. If they're gonna, I ain't mad at
just please don't invite Ray Gun back. Ray Gun is banned.
We don't need Ray Gun. Oh, they dragging that heifer, gang. Oh my God.
Dr. Rayman needs to sit this out permanently.
You got to have some people to actually know what they're talking about being the judges over this type of stuff if you're going to do it. You know, there should have been a nationwide boycott. Why do we sit by so idly and allow these people to colonize our culture and erase us from it? I saw about 3 black folks in that whole breakdancing event. They look like 3 ants in a bowl of rice. What the fuck you talking about? This is our culture. You understand? And ain't no black folks around. That was ill-conceived from the beginning. You dig? And there should have been a protest against that if they were going to do it that way. But
and that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
With the mindset, and this is why, you know, man, you know, I gotta walk away from my page this year because the mindset. You gotta have I've been doing this mindset thing for like 10 years on my page, trying to change the mindset of the people. You gotta understand, in order for us to survive, we have to have a code of conduct, and we're letting the program brainwash us more than what we should be out here doing, because, you know, a lot of times people don't even realize, like, you know, it's just the simple things that can make us so powerful. Like our ancestors, I tell people all the time, our ancestors, they used to tell us all the time, stop being in front of the TV, tell lies vision, go read a book and stuff like that. It was always to get their knowledge up and to steer away from the nonsense. And I had this video when I said, you know what, I'll save it for next week, because it was really a dope video by this Russian mafia dude. And he said that the most powerful weapon in the world is the $14 trillion, I think he said $14 trillion device, right? And I was like, what the hell? And then he ended up showing the iPhone. And he was like, this is the military device, or he said a deadly device, right? And he says you have this phone by your ears, it programs you, it controls you. And he was just basically saying, you control your phone before your phone controls you. And we're so far past what he's saying. It's like a lot of people are controlled by that phone. And when you're controlled by that phone, it's so easy for them to pump stuff into you, brainwash you, because the money that they spend into the program, and overrides a lot of what we're saying. The people that listen to us understand, like, this information is way more powerful than the stuff I get out my phone. So they understand that, but the mass majority that's not on code like that is getting programmed like that. And that's why you're seeing the results we have in our community and even in the political realm. Because I just saw Dr. Umar get into it with 2 other brothers, and one was an old ass brother, and then the other one was this old ass African brother. And they over there like, hey, vote for Kamala. And he was like, listen, I'm not voting for identity politics. You can't tell me to go up there. Well, if a vote, here go the old guy, right? The old black American. Well, a no vote for Kamala is a vote for Trump. He said, Dr. Umar was like, listen, if that was the aspect of it, like if you don't vote for one, it goes to the other person, then I can understand your argument. But if you don't vote for nobody, nobody gets the vote. So don't come at me with the boogeyman about if you don't vote for the other person gets the vote. And he couldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people don't understand, like, the simplicity of it. Like, logic is what gets things going. Stop being fearful, being on code, and understanding what you want. And I think one of the things that I really want to get into, especially when I get up the road, is having a group panel with some real powerful, brothers and sisters, and putting together a Black agenda and passing it out, because it's crazy to me that if you ask, I've been asking Black people, and I want you guys, anybody that's on here watching, I want you to do this type of what they call it, damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I want you to go out there and have this type of survey or just to pick the brains of the people, right? So I want you to go out there and I'll ask every Black person you see, hey, if you were to be president, like Kamala, what are some of the things that you would do for the Black community? And I guarantee you, if you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. And probably if you get the same answers, it might be the same regurgitated answers that everybody else is out here politically pushing.
Hold up. Let me get in on this one right quick. Before we get back to our regularly scheduled program, goddamn it. Because this shit, I was talking to somebody who was at London, the sister London Black.
Oh,
she's trying, God bless her. You know what I'm saying? But I had to really get on her this week.
I love me some London. Shout out to London.
Nigga, let me God bless her. You
know what I'm saying? Let my girl be great, damn it.
She's a good sister. She's a good sister. Unfortunately, it's a lot of misinformation that she gets, and she be so emotional and flailing all over the place that she don't really think through some of the things that she thinks and her thought processes. And I've been breaking down to her for the past month and change. You need to really, really understand that the Democrats, Black folks always vote Democrat, right? Yeah. Vote blue no matter who. Some of us really be on that shit. Correct. Especially old niggas. You know what I'm saying? Not elders, old niggas. It's a difference. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm telling her, be mindful of the fact these people never do anything for us. You know what I'm saying? They always give us a bunch of fluff, and they talk about, doing things for people of color, doing things for minorities, doing things for underserved communities. They never specify Black. Never. You understand what I'm saying? That's the whole catch to the shit. They're doing that intentionally so that they can give things to other people. In fact, every other group of people except for your Black ass. They do this time and again. They've been doing it since the Nixon era. It's called benign neglect. You understand what I'm saying? And they do it because y'all niggas will go out there and vote for these bitches for a goddamn two-piece. Yeah. Nigga, you got to get your game together so that you are demanding something for your vote. We are the only group of people that don't demand shit for our vote. We take our dumb ass to the fucking poll every goddamn election cycle. What's this dude, Beto O'Rourke? He went and sat down in a Black barber shop and let them cut his hair. You should have seen the dudes, the niggas talking about hold this vote. Nigga, for what? What did he do?
Man got a fade at a barber shop. Probably didn't have to pay for it either.
Real talk.
And all of a sudden that means we all got to vote for him.
I mean, dude, somebody come down to the hood and they do the Dougie with you. They do the Dougie with you and shake a few hands and kiss a few Black babies and you ready to vote for them.
That's hoe behavior. All niggas got to do is whisper. All niggas got to do is whisper in your ear. Hey, you look really sexy.
That's
go back to your place. We can go back to your place.
What movie that was? Let me see if y'all remember what movie that was from.
What movie? What was from?
What we just talked about? What y'all just talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that was in a movie. I'm just saying what I see. I didn't know that was in a movie.
You don't remember Barbershop when he was like, vote for Lalo Brown?
Oh yeah.
Nah, I don't remember that shit. But I'm sure that nah, I don't be remembering.
If you want to get down, vote for Lalo Brown.
Lalo Brown, yeah.
Y'all niggas be remembering specific lines from movies faster than me. I can't remember that shit. But okay. But real talk.
Yeah.
Negroes be on this bullshit, man, like where you don't have to do anything to get the Black vote. You come down to the hood and pat a few Negroes on the head, agree to make. Oh, don't fuck around and make a Negro your mascot like Coon Mala. You make a pseudo Negro your mascot. Oh, all the black folks want to vote for you. That worked with Obama. Where did it get us? This nigga sat in the White House and allowed them to slaughter black people wholesale under his watch, and he didn't do shit. Now, if there's a snowball chance in hell, but if Kumala gets elected, what you think that backlash is going to be like, and are you ready for it? And is it worth it?
Correct.
Because she ain't going to do shit for us. She has told you as much, and you ready to take your dumb ass out there and vote for her? Really? Come on, bro.
Correct.
You got to be smarter than that.
And when we catching hell for it, she ain't going to do a damn thing and lift a finger to assist either. All her good black constituents, because she, like you said, she already said, I'm not going to do something that's going to benefit black folk. No.
Exactly.
That's exactly what she said. And she's never identified Trump was so gangster with that shit. I got to make a clip on that. I never knew she was black. She's always identified as Indian, and he's telling the damn truth. I keep telling people, nigga, Kamala Harris is new to you. I've been studying this woman for the past, 15, 16 years since she got elected. I got homies in California right now, still cased up because of this heifer.
Yeah.
You understand? I know people on the ground.
I want to go back to this question real quick. Les D says, don't walk away just yet. There's about to be something so catastrophic that is going to happen, and it's going to happen real soon. God has you spreading the word. Thank you so much, Queen.
Real talk.
I appreciate that. One thing I do want to tell people, and all my people, you know what I'm saying, that's out here pushing information and knowledge. I didn't bring it up on tonight's show because we're supposed to have a political show coming with our boy Ricky. He wanted to show some pointers on Kamala Harris. Rick, that was supposed to be Rick LeBurn. That always come on. Rick. Rick, that was supposed to be with us initially, but he had a lot of things going on. So Rick wanted to come on, and he said he wanted to, because he said he's an economist and he also does finances. So he wanted put out there. Like I say, I bring anybody on here that wants to, make their case, whatever side you want to make your case for, lay it out on the line. We're gonna all put our stuff on there and lay it all out, and people, you decide on who you want and who not. But I say that because, Les D, you are right. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing for the last 10 years of out here educating people and changing the mindset of so many. And it's been so infectious that a lot of people created a lot of great things in the process of it. A lot of people don't give me credit for it, but I don't want the credit. I just want to see that the ball is rolling and you're rolling in the right direction and doing tangible things about it, right? And you're getting tangible stuff for our people, like anywhere from people that I've, promoted from doing Black Empowerment Radio to Black History to even dealing with the state rep, getting laws passed. I did a lot of that behind the scenes, and they're where they are today because of that being infectious, unapologetic, and breathing that air into people. But I will say this, all of that is going to come to an end. And I didn't put it on this this segment, but they are arresting, they have arrested over 4,000 people in Britain. And they have arrested over 400 people in, I think it's Czechoslovakia. And they arrested, I think, over 5,000 people in Hong Kong, because they arrested them around the pandemic. And even to this day, a lot of the reporters can't even report, because what they're doing now in those countries, they have set it up where if you're informing the people, you can now go to jail for that. All right. So now is the time for, like I say, everybody's out here. We've been preaching the word, preaching the message. Now you got to do covert, go into start building an underground community, you know what I'm saying, and getting the knowledge there. I was talking about this the other day where, when you look back at the right here, the Hampton House, there's an iconic picture of Dr. King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, all the greats was there, and they went into the room. They had no cameras, no microphones, no nothing. And they went in there and they was talking business. You know what I'm saying? They was talking business, like getting down to some real deal stuff, what black folks need to do. And when they came out, the white reporter was like, hey, so what are you guys was in there talking about? They was like, yeah, we just, we just handling business. We were just talking, just chopping it up with each other. That's all. They never revealed what they talked about. And that's what we got to get back on, because now you're getting censored and you're about to be punished for it. So yes, I appreciate the great comment, Queen. I hear you. I've been doing it so long, and there's people that listen and there's people that hasn't. I have to cut the plug because in a few more years, it's coming to America. So you got to be on point, and that's the reason why I'm telling you on this show. And I titled the show, "Being Real Can Benefit You." You know, saying by off rip, being 100 with people. Everybody on here, me, Bobby, and Major, we always be real to the people. And because we're real to the people, we keep them out of harm's way. And that's the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the powers behind it. Even with Aman and Mila, they do a phenomenal job where they are in Texas and their people in their community. And I had them on last week, right? We had them on last week.
Yeah.
No, the week before.
Week before last.
And they gave great information because, like I told people, regardless of what side you're voting for, Democrat or Republican, the other side is going to be salty when they tally up the votes and one side wins. So prepare yourself and your family for the backlash, because there is going to be backlash. All right. So they were, Amon and Nate came on, gave us some great information on how to survive just in case you have the shutdowns, electricity go out. You need to operate with your peoples, how to help your peoples, how to survive and make food for your family if there's no electricity. Starting with your lighter and using the dryer fabric and getting stuff popping. The straws, life straws and the camo back with the extra water that you guys need, and stocking up the cans, vegetables, all of that great information that you guys have at your fingertips. We wanted to make sure we provide it to you, because when all of this go down, you can't click in. Oh, let me look at Manifestations real quick and find out. No. Take the time now, write it down, jot it down, go back, use that as a blueprint. So when it does happen, you already mentally prepared for it. And also you can do practice runs, because the world is doing practice runs on us. You can do practice runs with your family. So when that joint pop off, you already trained. Your children are already trained. Because just like Amon and Nick said, hey, you need a bag for your children too. Let their ass carry some stuff. You ain't gonna sit here and carry 8 bags on you. Have your children go out there and carry some things too. All right, and I land my plane on that. It's on you, fellas.
I'm gonna be honest, and because I absolutely agree with what Les said, but if we're being honest, yes, we do present information, and it is new to some individuals, absolutely. But the truth is, a lot of the things that we're saying aren't new or unknown things at all. There might be some additional details. We might go a bit more in depth with certain things, but nothing that's been said, at least as far as these major events that's concerned, none of that is new. And nothing that we're saying isn't something that could be easily pulled up with a few words using one of these.
Yeah.
Every single one of us, whether it's from iPhone, whether it's an iPhone, a Galaxy, a Pixel, or whatever phone that's out there, even our kids have these.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody has one. The reality is, and this is the problem, back in the day, when we were still stuck in slavery, when we still had to deal with Jim Crow semi-slavery, you had to go to libraries and places, you had to go and look for information. We suffered from a lack of information and intel. That's not the case anymore. We have too much access now.
Yeah.
We have too much access to information right now. We do not suffer from a lack of information. God damn it, we suffer from a lack of implementation.
Yeah, true.
We are mentally obese. I didn't say intellectually obese. There's a difference. We are mentally obese. We've heard clips and sound bites from all kinds of scholars, all kinds of activists, all kinds of politicians, all kinds of speakers. We've had all sorts of knowledge that we've picked up accidentally. We've probably forgotten more intelligent things that we've seen than we actually remember.
Real talk.
The problem is we're not seeing the implementation.
Yeah.
At some point, we've got to go. At some point, if we're not taking the game that we're getting, and I didn't say you have to be masters of it. I didn't say you have to be perfect. You have to be already arrived. But at some point, if we don't take all the game that we're picking up and seeing and observing and put it to use, at some point, it's not learning or discovering. It just becomes a bunch of this. Intellectual masturbation. You just get the nut catching. Oh, yeah, that's a good. Oh, yeah, that's real. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Real talk, King. Yeah, Catch your nut. And then it's back to the bullshit.
Real
and
talk,
then next
man.
week, whenever you get it again, it becomes a circle and it becomes a trap. To be honest, you're better off if you don't honestly intend to implement the things that's being picked up. And I'm not telling anyone they should just off themselves. But if you're not planning on implementing the game that's being given you, you're better off ignoring it. Because what's going to happen is you become desensitized. You become desensitized to the game, and now certain things that you hear, it's not going to hit the way it's supposed to. You're not going to have that sense of urgency. It becomes played out. It becomes, okay, I've heard this before, Before long, you just tuned out completely, and you're not even registering what's being said anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
When you have concepts like water poisoning, for example. Water poisoning is when you consume too much water too quickly to the point where it starts physically making you sick. You can actually die from it. That is a disease of luxury. You can only suffer from water poisoning if you live in a place with abundant good water where you don't have to worry about water running out. You can lose wastewater like that. People that barely got any rain, they barely have any fresh water, ain't no water poisoning out there. They might have contaminated water, but there's no water poisoning. So when they see that water, they treat it like it's precious as gold. They take it and it's good for them because they recognize they don't have an abundance of it.
Yeah.
You're better off not having this information and staying away from it until you're ready to implement it than to just sit under it all the time and take it for granted.
Correct.
So
real talk.
That's all. Just,
Yeah.
maybe and unfortunately, we've shown historically that when times are good, we don't behave the way we're supposed to. That's one of the reasons why, even though I didn't vote for him, I was actually happy when Tangerine got in office the first time going around because I hadn't seen niggas getting serious like that. I'm talking about people I've known for years who've been on the kumbaya bullshit, on the bubblegum bullshit. I've heard some of them talking like me, like, where you came from?
Yeah.
They were all in their militant bag and everything. I'm like, I've never seen this side out of you because they had their feet to the flames. We've sadly proven that we don't know how to get our act together when things are good. We need to have the gun to our head, so to speak.
Right.
Correct.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I wish we're otherwise.
I'm glad you said that because I've been telling people for years that, like with Trump, okay, when Obama got in, a lot of white people ran out and went and bought guns. Guns soared through the roof when Obama got in because them white folks were scared. They thought them niggas was coming in to come throw their ass in slavery. And the guns went through the roof. When Trump got in office, man, when I say black people were scrambling and organizing and the code of conduct was coming in, people were looking for black businesses and black people to network with. Man, they was getting together. I was like, dang.
I've never seen so many black people at the gun shop before. Never. I'm literally seeing, every time I'm pulling up, I'm seeing at least 2 or 3 couples there going for a couple's date, practicing the range. I'm like, this is gorgeous.
Right.
Correct.
It's a shame it took the head citrus in charge to make it happen, but this is gorgeous.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that, and I'm like, wow. And I tell people all the time, like, just initially, Trump getting in office, that initial ceremony, man, did so much for Black people. Was just crazy. Like the mindset of how many people that changed, and then with the pandemic on top of that, who had them sitting back thinking and end up, and I told people it's over 145 millionaires, Black millionaires that were created during that time of the pandemic underneath Trump's thing. But, you know, a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't realize that, you know, but that's the power that you have when it comes to understanding what's around, how to get yourself in the mindset and in the groove of knowing what you need to do just in case stuff pop off. That's why we did the show, to get you pre-situated versus post-situated. Because when you if we made that video after something had happened, you ain't gonna find no bug out bag. You ain't gonna find none of that stuff we told you that you can find right now, way before anything pops up. You know,
you ain't gonna have no damn internet. Shit.
Exactly. You ain't gonna have no internet, and even if you did have access to get it, you probably wouldn't get it because it probably be sold out because everybody's gonna grab it at the last minute. So I want you guys. I'm gonna play this video real quick because I want you to see how, when you're not on code with each other, how it jeopardizes not only you but also the person that's affiliated in that same area as well. And this is a dope video, trust me.
Okay.
Damn! You gotta come talk. You not only yourself up, you me up. There's more to being a football player than just playing. I'm just trying to tell y'all that they will cut your ass because we not communicating right. We giving up big plays.
Here you go, drink.
This gonna be a live game, brother. We gonna give up big plays if we don't communicate right. No, it ain't no be a settle down. Look, you give a big play. Okay, so what I'm telling, listen to me. You're not listening to me. Listen to me. You're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you. Just tone it down.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Just listen to me, bro. Just listen.
I'm listening, cuz.
You're a rookie, right? You're a rookie, right?
Yeah.
You're undrafted, right? Guess how slim your chance is. Just like mine, right?
I understand.
So what I'm telling you is, it's not gonna be a settle down. There's not gonna be oh, that's my bad. They gonna cut your ass and we ain't gonna have a job. They gonna cut my ass and we ain't gonna have a job. You feel me?
I got you.
That's how real it is. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you then. That's what I need you to understand. You've been doing this the whole camp. I'm talking to you like a man. We've been doing it the whole camp.
Settle down.
The whole camp.
Okay, settle down.
Bro, listen, you just need to listen, bro.
I'm listening.
Hold up.
What you mean?
That's the listen.
Oh, listen, bro.
Chill out.
All right, so basically, I use the football because, you know, football season coming in, but a lot of people gravitate
49ers, bitch.
A lot of people could gravitate to football. And what he was saying, if you look out the optics of football, is real life. Like, listen, you're undrafted. When he said your chances of making it in the NFL undrafted is very slim.
Real talk.
And even though mine's is higher, if you fuck both of us up, nigga, we both might be out of here.
Real talk.
It's the same way. Every time you're around in your community, if your person that is in your community is not operating on the same page as you, then people can come in and kill both of y'all. So even if I might have some more information than me, and I'm over here chilling and I got my back turned and you see opposition and you don't say nothing or you're not on alert, then they kill both of us. So it don't matter what information I have, I'm out of here. I'm no use to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. We let opposition come in and get rid of us. The Malcolm X, the Khalid Muhammad's, you know what I'm saying? And all these people that's been out here doing great work that get executed because we sit back and allow people to come in because we're not on code, we're not unified on the same level of communication.
Yes.
And that's how we end up dying out. And I'll land my plane on that.
Factual.
I'm so glad you said that because we had a comment from Sister Amy in the chat that I wanted to address.
Oh, okay.
She asks, what are Republicans doing for us? Because we're criticizing Democrats quite a bit, whatever the case may be. And so she's asking the question on the flip side, what are the Republicans doing for us? Nothing. Really, if we're being totally honest, the Republicans are doing nothing. However, black people don't vote Republican by and large. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason why we're criticizing the Democrat policies is because, like, people often talk about voting for the lesser of two evils. Really and truly, if we're picking right now and you're asking me who's the lesser of the two evils, I say the Republicans. Why? Because, yes, the Republicans aren't doing anything for us. True. However, Donald Trump has at least tried to articulate some type of agenda for black people. He has at least tried. He went and sat down with a group of black journalists last week that asked him a bunch of stupid ass questions. You know, it was a very wasted opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, he has tried. He is trying some outreach. To his credit, Kamala Harris sat there and told us she's not going to do anything for black people. No, those were her words.
Not just that, but don't forget that DNC memo that got leaked. The Democratic National Committee sent out an email blast to all of their candidates, all the people who are active, who are politicians, former or present, who are seeking to go into that election cycle.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
them, when black people go to you and ask questions, they present you with their concerns, you are to look sympathetic, you're to listen to them, hear them out, to sympathize with them, but do not promise to do anything. In other words, don't give them anything.
Exactly. And for those of us that
just by sitting with those journalists in a forum where he could have been asked, well, what are you going to do with such and such? He all by himself undercut that he did more in that moment than the Democrats had told their party members to do.
Excellent point. Okay, so, and to go further with this, you understand that, I mean, this is something that's been taking place ever since the days of Nixon.
Let's
you
go
understand
deep.
what I'm saying? It's called benign neglect. They have a name for it. You tell black people you're going to do some shit, but not, they don't even do that no more. They just ignore us altogether. You
They don't have to.
They
don't have to because you're Democrat, not Republican,
right?
Not conservative. Your liberal Democrat president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, said, I go ahead and I sign this Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
I'll have these niggers voting Democratic for the next 200 years.
Yes, he did say that.
And this Democrat was known.
Yes.
And this Democrat was known for being a vile racist.
Yes.
Known for calling us the N-word and everything else that you would associate with Tangerine behind closed doors, even publicly.
Right. And that's my point. You know what I'm saying? People keep talking about how much of a racist Trump is. He's no more or less racist than Joe Biden. You understand? It's the same. They're fangs on the same snake. You understand? And my point is this. Neither of them like us. Let's go with the one that's talking about giving us some tangible benefits. Look, they said to us, Lyndon Baines Johnson, I'm glad you brought him up. He's a foaming at the mouth racist Democrat. But he's the one that signed the Civil Rights Bill into law. Let's not forget that. Just because this person is a racist don't mean they won't do something for us if they feel that they can get some votes. That's the point. This is quid pro quo. Negroes need to stop being so desirous of white acceptance and a pat on the head from massa. Fuck that. What are they willing to do for us? And that is the reason why I can't support the Democrats. And I also encourage people not to support the Republicans. You can vote and leave the presidency blank. That's what I did the last voting cycle. I was in Houston last weekend. Shout out to Sister Mila. Shout out to Brother Amun. They showed so much hospitality. I had the time of my life.
Right? You met up with them. Okay.
Yeah. We sat down. We chopped it up. It was great. Beautiful people. I love Houston. And we were, over their home, and the other brother, what's his name? Brother Nate, and his lady came through, Sister Joy, and she asked me, so how are you voting this election? I pointed at the couch. What you mean, how am I voting this election? Nobody is discussing tangible benefits for black people. And if nobody's giving us that, we don't need to vote for them. You know what I'm going to vote on? I'm going to vote on taxes. I'm going to vote on ordinances. I'm going to vote on judgeships. I'm going to vote on issues. I'm still going to vote. But the presidency and every other thing that doesn't really apply to me, I'm going to leave it blank, because people tend to think that just because you vote means you have to vote. No, you can vote however the hell you want. And if I want to leave the presidency blank like I did last election cycle because neither candidate earned my vote, I can do that. And there is a message even in that. That's what I want people to understand. Much like the Montgomery bus boycott, we withheld our business from them. And we got them to do what we needed them to do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the idea that a lot of us are coming up with when we say, hey, you don't need to vote for either candidate. Now, if Trump comes forward and is like, hey, I'm willing to do this for the black community, that for the black community. And I even, I'm going to put that up because I was having this debate with Sister London I was telling you about earlier. And I gave her examples of what a real black agenda should look like. And I was like, hey, I pretended I was a political candidate. I said, hey, I'm going to provide X amount of money, giving a specific dollar amount of money to black people for this cause, whatever it is. It has to be specific, because when they earmark money for Latinos, please believe Latinos and people of Latin descent is in the language. And my black ass can't get none. When they have something for us, it's always under people of color. It's always under underprivileged communities. It's always under minorities. Those are bullshit talking points designed to finesse you into some other shit. You got to hold to your guns and be like, hey, if you want the black vote, you need to refer to black people specifically and give us things specifically. This heifer's talking about how she won't do anything for black people. She's done everything for every other group of people and advocated for it. They do shit for LGBT.
But she says she'll do it for them too.
Yes, she says she'll do it. They do shit for LGBT people. They do shit for Jews. They do shit for Native Americans. They do things for Latinos, and we don't have access to those things. We're the only ones, because we're so green and game goofy when it comes to politics. We just show up and vote because we like somebody's smile and think they have a pretty family. No, that has to stop. We got to grow up and be more mature and knowledgeable about the way that we do things. That's the reason why we have this push against Kamala. We can see that she's a fraud. Wouldn't be the first time. Look, if Kamala Harris comes out tomorrow and she starts talking about things that she's willing to do for black people specifically, shit, I'll vote for her. I don't have a problem with it.
Facts.
Y'all got to get out of your damn emotions. Black people, broadly speaking, we have to get out of our damn emotions expecting somebody to like us, and we got to conduct business. What are you going to do for us? If you're not going to do anything, fuck you. I'm not voting for you, period.
Definitely.
The thing is, it's got nothing, and that's something that really bothers me as well, too. This notion that we have to be like, or we have to like a candidate in order to support them, whatever.
What?
I don't like Democrats. I don't like Republicans. I don't like Green. I don't like Independents. I don't like Libertarians. I don't like none of them. I don't care to. I don't want to get to know them to like them. I don't care where you went to school. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care if you're white, black. I don't care if you're a Portuguese man of war. None of that matters.
Right.
All I want to know is, what are you going to do for black people? I'm a single issue voter. I'm a single issue voter. What are you going to do for black people? If you have something of tangible value to offer us, thumbs up. If not, I'm about to go see what's on TV right quick. Miss me with the other nonsense. It's not about who you like.
Correct.
The person you like will stab you in your back. I just want to know, can we get together and do business? And I vote for you this year. I might not vote for you next year. Yeah. This is a consistent revolving door of what have you done for me lately? And I believe it was Professor Black Truth has said this on a number of occasions, and he said that we have things backwards. We handle our politics and our finances in reverse. We go and we toss our money out to any and everybody. We'll buy from anywhere and everywhere. And in many cases, we'll buy from people that we have no business supporting at all. Black people going to the Gucci store or going to the Hermes store and getting the racist treatment, and then we're insisting, no, I'm going to spend my money here so I can make a statement or whatever. That's crazy. But we're voting nonstop for the Democrats no matter what. It needs to be the reverse. The same way how we're willing to shop anywhere, we need to be willing to vote anywhere depending on who's offering us what. And when it comes to us spending our money, we need to be every bit as disciplined with that as we are disciplined about voting for only one party. We're backwards. That's why we don't see the needle move for us. That's why politics doesn't work for us.
So that's
the reason why the voter turnout has died down, why the Democrats have been in panic mode for the last decade with the black vote, is because black people have gotten depressed and gotten a sense of hopelessness about politics. Why? Because we have nothing to show for it. Everybody else has something to show for us. We have people who weren't even here in significant numbers before the Civil Rights Act was passed, who have already surpassed us economically and socioeconomically. We have Cubans, we have Latinos, we have Asians, we have non-white, non-black, non-Native American people who've come here and haven't even been here for 50 years, and they're already miles and leaps ahead of us already. Politics has done nothing for us.
Exactly.
But if we flip-flop those two things right there, we'll start seeing breakthroughs overnight. But we're too afraid because, well, I don't like them. I don't have to like you. I just need to be able to do business with you. I almost got into a business deal that would have been very profitable. I had a big idea for an app that I knew would have took off like a rocket. And I knew a dude who was heavy in the app development game that was supposedly on code, really solid brother. I thought he was. And I was very careful who I wanted to pitch this idea to. Him, I thought he was trustworthy. I've been kind of looking at some of his stuff. And I was about to make a pitch to him, and I'm pretty sure he would have got along with it. But then I started peeping some stuff about his character. Not that whether I liked him or not, his character that didn't add up. I'm like, you know what? Let me fall back because I don't like the way his character looks.
Right.
I don't necessarily have to like him, but I don't like the signs of his character. To make a long story very, very short, I didn't like the way he was moving with his wife at the time and the things I was seeing. And I'm like, this is your wife?
That's big.
If you mess and moving foul with her, she's the mother of your child. If you moving foul with the woman that you lay in bed with every night, who gives you the buns, who's the mother of your child, I can't do any of these things for you. I know damn well you screwed me over, so I took a step back, and it proved to be a very wise judgment call because about several months later, I didn't even have a front row seat. I had a courtside seat. I was damn near standing on the floor like the basketball coach or the football coach to watch all the skeletons fall in this man's closet. And I won't go into details, but I'll just say Tyler Perry, BET, Zeus Network, none of them ninjas could have had anything on that clusterfuck. So my issue with him wasn't whether I liked him or not. It was that I can't trust your character. I don't have to like you to do business with you. I just need you to be able to get done what I'm saying that you need to get done. And as far as I saw a comment from, I think it was Sister Amy talking about Trump is a liar. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that it's been a common running joke for decades and decades and decades now that you can't trust politicians. The joke has been you can't trust lawyers and you can't trust politicians. So when did this change? We're now because no one is giving cover. The problem is nobody's giving smokescreen and cover for Trump. He lies and no one's covering up for him. And the people in the right-wing media, they just simply act like what he's saying is true, but they're not actually trying to cover it up. These Democrats lie all the damn time, but CNN and the other outlets aren't going to expose the lies. They're going to keep covering and running interference for them. That's the difference. Again, at least the Republicans are exactly who they are on the face of it. The Democrats want to doll it up and pretend like it's something else, but they do the same exact thing. There is no difference.
Precisely.
There is a difference. It's one is covert racism and one is blatant racism. That's it.
That's it.
So, blatant. A lot of times, the reason why blatant racism works on us so much is because in our community, especially our women, you don't like to be talked to a certain way. So covert is actually coddling you and wrapping around and making sweet lullabies in your ears that soothe you and sounds good, but they end up putting the knife in your back while they're serenading your ear. And
You want the
Novocaine
before they do the dental work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I knew we were going to go down this route for a second, I would have sent you this meme that someone sent me this week, had me crying laughing, where this guy's holding up this baby and saying to this other guy, "Do you want to microwave this baby or blend it?" The guy's like, "What? Neither." And the guy holding the baby's looking mad at him, and the baby's looking mad. And he's like, "Dude, throwing away your vote is not cool."
But listen,
and that's exactly what it is.
No, we're gonna get on that. We're gonna talk about that when I say we're gonna do a show about that with Rick and everything like that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get him on real quick. But before I'll bring him up on stage. Shout out to Steven, man. Me and Steven been talking about knowledge for a long time. So he had hit me up and he was like, "Yo, Ant, man, we've been calling her ass out for a long time." So this is my conspiracy theorist page, right? Intellectual L Bay.
Yeah.
The first Indian American, not African American woman. She said it out of her own mouth. She identifies as non-black. Reparations are going to $5 Indians and foreigners. Check out what's the date? August 11, 2020, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's powerful about that? What's so powerful about that? I'm gonna show you what's so powerful about that. All right. Vice President Harris announces new efforts to expand capital access and contracted opportunities for minority-owned and underserved businesses at the Freedmen's Bank Forum.
This is why I don't fuck with this bitch. That's why.
Hold up. Before I let you cook, hold on. Here. No, I'm gonna let you cook. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Right here, it says, where is it? Okay, here we go. Which has helped to be more than double the amount of the loans to Black-owned businesses and double the number of loans to Latin-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. Now, Black and Latino entrepreneurs are starting their own businesses. Let me tell you something. This ain't, look at the $80 billion, right? This is the trick bag that is so dangerous with Kamala and that whole thing is that y'all got to understand, when they say minority and they put you all under the same umbrella, even though they say Latin, guess who else is a minority? A white woman is a minority. You have
a white gay man is a minority.
You have
Asians, a minority.
Ukrainians. You got the Ukrainians over here. You got the Somalians. You got the Africans. You got the Arabs, the Indians. They all considered all minorities. So when
all you gotta do is see what they did with affirmative action, and that should explain to you exactly why this is a problem.
Agreed.
It's not like we don't know in detail what this is.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. I'm breaking it down because it sounds good, but at the end of the day, when you present a whole pie for 20 people, and then you have the Black people, there's only one Black person, and it's probably 4 whites, 4 Asians, and every other group. And it's just this one Black person that gets one of the pie, and they say, "Hey, just because that one Black person got the pie, that means it all went to minorities." And look, and then they hold up the Black person with a piece of pie and say, "See, this is what we did for Black people." And 90% of the resources go to outside of the community. That's the whole trick bag. And just for the simple fact of her using the word Freeman, which was a bank for our ancestors that was built for a lot of our military comrades out there, our ancestors that was in the military, and the Black folks. That was the only bank that they were able to establish to put their money in, and they end up getting robbed by the white folks in the long run. But I just wanted to put that information out to you to see the trick bag, and I'll let you cook because I know I wanted you to cook, Major, without the interruption. So go ahead.
Listen, strangely enough, I was listening to Tariq Nasheed on his live just today, and someone had called in to disclose this. That's some of the most disrespectful shit possible. You understand what I'm saying? Like, instead of opening, a bureau to let these people do what it is that they do, they take the Freedmen's Bank, which is set aside for us specifically, that descended from slaves. That is for us. That term specifies us. And this heifer's going to bring all these other immigrants and ethnic groups into the Freedmen's Bank so that they can just openly take from us. If we have 100% of something, 100% of that something should go to us. We are freedmen, right? So 100% of the benefits that go to freedmen should go to us, descendants of slaves. This heifer is making it so that legally, it is legally binding for these other groups to come in and literally mooch off of the benefits that are set up for us. And we're going to take our dumb ass out there and give her our vote. For what? Again, goes back to my initial point. I don't like Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump, but at least he has made an attempt to talk about something that he's going to do for the black community specifically. Kamala Harris has said very emphatically she ain't gonna do shit for us. Not only will she not do shit for us, she's going to go out of her way to do shit that undermines and sabotages us. That's the problem that I have with Kamala Harris. You understand? That right there is something that directly impacts us. You understand? Because when they have money earmarked for the Latino builders community, you understand what I'm saying? Or the Latin Building Association or APAC for the Jewish community. I can't get that money as a black person or as a freedman. She's literally passing legislation to allow these other groups to come in and eat off of what is set aside for us.
And also,
the problem that I can't help you.
And
go ahead.
Also, real quick, you want to know how fucked up that is? There's Indians, Spanish folks, and certain parts of Africa that are labeled when they come in with the white race. So they get both parts of the pie. I was talking to a couple black people about this. They didn't even know that Hispanics are white on record.
Yes, they are.
Because I tell them Hispanic is not a race. That's an ethnicity.
Right.
So they got a race code where they get white. So imagine they don't have to have their picture in the system. The system algorithm goes by the racial code. So if their racial code is white, they're getting all the benefits and the resources from white. When they talk about pull your bootstraps up, they're pulling their bootstraps up with damn near real boots. We're getting bootless boots. They're getting real boots because they're labeled as whites.
It's crazy.
That's the trick bag. Y'all got to understand. This shit is psychological, man. It's an illusion. And if you don't understand what's being played in front of you, you are going to fall to the wayside. And I land my plane and hand it over to you, Amon.
Peace, family. First of all, thank you. Thank you. Y'all have answered. Y'all have literally regurgitated the same thing that I've been telling our people for I don't know how long about voting and about the election. I told them, I said, you don't need to worry about fighting for the president that's already been selected. They go, what do you mean? It's just a poll, bro. The Electoral College already picked the president. Okay? That's number one.
You're breaking up.
You hear me now? You hear me now?
Yeah.
There we
You hear me now?
Good.
Okay. Number two, black people got a big problem. And our problem is how we feel. This is business, man. Bobby, thank you, bro. Thank you. This is business. I don't care. Man, look, I've worked on jobs as a contractor with people I don't necessarily like, but they pay me.
Exactly.
Only thing I care about is what are you going to do for black people? So if Chameleon, that's what I call her, because she's whatever color she wants to be. She's like an X-Man, I swear. But Chameleon. So the thing of the matter is this, right? She'll sit up there and say, I'm not doing anything for black people. Stop. right? Because the reiteration of that speech, it was more to it. So I had to look at the whole thing. Because she said, well, because if I do things for I can't just do anything solely for black people, because if I do things for all people, they're going to benefit black people. Lie. Because gentrification is not for black people. Okay. Taking black neighborhoods and painting them rainbow is definitely not for black people. You can do stuff specifically for Bati boys and Bati girls. Why can't you do nothing for your kind? Saying her language. In her alleged language.
Notification.
So, yeah. So, if you can make an Asian hate crime bill, why can't you make an anti-black hate crime bill?
Right.
Let me get on my woke podium for a second and educate the people on why black people do not get treated fairly in America. Let me ask your last name. Let me ask you a question. What's your last name?
Me?
Anyone else?
Kigo. I got his name. Malcolm.
Malcolm? Okay. So my African American people, let me give you an example. If your last name is Thompson, if your last name is Jenkins, if your last name is Harris, that is the name of a plantation. You're a property. That's why you're not being treated fairly in the United States of America. They can treat their grass the way they want to treat it.
Yeah.
That's one. Number two, to get reparations based on the UN, because our main cause, we need reparations now, right? Which we do deserve reparations. Here's a problem. You got to understand international law, which means you have to study the UN. You got to understand how the UN gets down. So to get reparations to a said nation from an oppressive nation, you have to be identified as a nation through the United Nations. So if we're saying we're Africans, what country do they claim you? And if so, has your chief or your person in charge said that you are a resident or a national of said country and you've been kidnapped by the United States? In that case, then yes, you're owed reparations. In other cases, they have to do the right thing because they know they stole us. They know they stole us. But our problem is they wiped our history out so much that we don't know where the hell we from.
As far as the international people don't know because they didn't have good book records and they didn't really care. But as far as foundational Black Americans, for the most part, they have a solid track record because them white folks here, they took pride in their property. They were down to the T.
Okay. So let's talk about foundational Black Americans for a second, which I don't look, man, don't take this wrong. If you are, I love you. Okay. Yeah. But as a whole, I don't like them. I'm saying this as a Haitian. Because my argument to foundational Black Americans, when they say people from Grenada, people from Jamaica, people from Haiti don't deserve reparations, that's false. Because if I go through the Marine film, which I retired from,
they don't say
say from
no, they don't say that.
Now I've talked to some foundational Black Americans and they said
they don't say
okay. All right. Well, we're gonna leave that alone.
You got I think Caravan, what's it called over there? CARICOM in Africa. They're working on your reparations. And that's why it's very
the ones that really know what's going
on. Okay. Well, I like y'all again. All right. So
I'm just going to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
That's why foundational Blacks need to worry about how they want to go about reparations. And people from their diaspora, like myself and my family, need to worry about that with their CARICOM over there.
Right.
Once you do that, you got Jamaicans over here telling the foundational Blacks what they need. No, stay out of that. Go to the union of where you at, and you do it for your peoples. And I'm correct.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, in that regard, if we all came together and we identified at the basic root, we all came from where? The difference between me and a Jamaican, a Trinidadian, a Puerto Rican, and a Cuban is where the boat stopped. Okay.
Not quite.
Not quite. That's how I take it. But we'll wrap on that one day. But what I'm saying as a whole, we have to come with some kind of united effort here. We here, there, and everywhere. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're here, there, and everywhere. And now, like I said in my comment, Black people keep looking for a hero. We're either looking for Jesus, some of us are looking for Ra, we're looking for Allah. We're looking for a president. We have yet to say, I told folks, you need to learn to save yourself. They go, what do you mean? Ask me who I'm voting for this year. Nobody. What if every black man and every black woman in America said, we're not voting this time because we have not have a person to give us anything specifically for us, so you don't deserve anything for us. We boycotting the election. Every time they get ready to get elected, they come up there and they start tap dancing and they start shucking and jiving. They start talking jive. And I swear somebody from the 70s teaching Kamala Harris how to reach out to black people. Because that girl, first it was Biden. Biden broke out the fried chicken from the start. I'm going to have a chicken dinner. That was the first one. I went, oh my God. And then the little boy played basketball. Oh my God. And then he could read and Biden was surprised. I was like, oh my God. All right, that was the first one. Now I gotta appeal to the youth. And then so we're gonna get Megan Thee Stallion. We're gonna have a twerk fest. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I'm gonna have Charlamagne the God interview me. And when he starts asking me questions harder than what he's supposed to, I'm gonna say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or next, when she gonna bust a freestyle next, she gonna go on Sway and Sway in the morning.
Black is.
Yeah, she gonna bust a freestyle next. I mean, the thing of the matter is this: we're looking for commercial appeal. I'm thinking like a foreign superpower because I served in the military. If I am a foreign superpower, like say Korea or Russia,
right?
And I'm thinking about when I would want to hit you. Let's take it to the street for a second. If I really want to hit you, and your OG is gone, and you got this sucker that came up all of a sudden, and he's just shucking and jiving with everybody, guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna light you up because you ain't ready for the smoke.
Right?
You're not. You gonna have somebody sitting there in the Kremlin, giggling and cackling in front of doggone in front of the Russian premier's face. Putin looking at you like this. And you going, you look like a 5-year-old baby that just got a doggone cookie. You understand what I'm saying? And you sit up there thinking that this person is going to pass diplomatic policy. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Trump. Okay, Trump. He lies. That boy lies for no reason at all. But at least he has a poker face. You understand what I'm saying? And he's not afraid to do what he has to do in certain scenarios if he has to do it. This woman is showing you she's not the real president. This is people. It's a shadow government behind her pushing her to do this nonsense.
Precisely.
And all she's going to do is run the country into the ground. I know there's people probably watching this that love them some Kamala, Chucks, and Pearl, whatever. I don't care about no Converse and I don't care about no fake pearls. Fact of the matter is the doggone country is in jeopardy. I'm saying this as a veteran. China is literally 300 miles from the United States. They're in Cuba right now. And Russia is circling. And I just saw, before this show, I saw that Iran is about to invade Israel. It's about to be World War III.
Oh, yeah.
And America's going to end up, and America's going to end up trying to support Israel by sending troops over there. And China is just waiting. Please do it.
Like we always
do. And it's going to be the fall of Rome all over again.
Yes, they all in cahoots. I did want to say it was something I wanted to say to you about what you were just talking about. You were just talking about I was telling people that, our whole mindset needs to be about building infrastructure. So the start of that is, how do we build a society within a society with sovereignty type of protection? You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind has been at for the last couple of years. Building a society within a society.
You got to get an esteemed council, well vetted, esteemed council of elders. If you want to do it the African way, that is respected across this world, that can actually have dialogue with other nations that you respect, not two people that you saw online and made some woke, not like Yada or nothing. Like, hey, let's put Yada. No, don't do that. All right, so all right, not like that, man. I could, boy, look.
Start me on that nigga.
Yeah, not like Young Pharaoh or not. No, somebody that's serious that don't have a nickname or a rap name.
Correct.
All right, that is well respected, that can reach out on a political level and can talk to people. You understand what I'm saying? And get things across that we may need in our diaspora. Now, that's first phase. That's first phase one. Once you have that, then you have the defense well-vetted defense organizations that understand rank and file, that have the actual discipline, not a bunch of drunks, not a bunch of derelicts, actually people that can actually fight a war if they have to. You have the generals, which is the Joint Chiefs of Staff first, and you have the militaries up under that. Okay? Then after that, you have the construction infrastructure, those brothers and sisters that are good with their hands. That can actually build something once it's torn up, because everybody wants to go to war, but I've never heard about a construction or reconstruction. That's very important. All right. Then after that, you got your agriculture. Then after that, you got the doggone local law enforcement. You have the local leadership and everything like that. But can it be done? Absolutely. But there's this thing that we got to be on. We have to be on code.
That's my thing. That's where I feel like I'm not even worried about the election like that. For the last couple of years, I've been focusing trying to figure out the sovereignty of being a society within a society and having our own thing. Because I even tried to get somebody to pick the brain of a Native American. Remember, I told y'all I was trying to get, and it must have been like she must have found out that she's like, no, we ain't trying to give up no code of give us no codes or no cheat codes.
Yeah.
So she had backed out of that. But I was trying to go pick her brain to figure out, what the secrets are behind that. But that was my main focus, was to really try to figure out how to be a society within a society, their sovereignty, and then build from there and to get protection. Because all of this is lost. We ain't even
done.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah,
Done.
I think that it's definitely the things that you mentioned, Amon. I think that they're important to have. I think that, that they're a necessary part of maintaining the nation after the nation is established. But as far as, acquiring a designation, that's a relatively simple legal process. And people, have gotten reparations that don't even have, sovereignty, or aren't even acknowledged as sovereign nations. That doesn't have to happen for us to get reparations. Every aggrieved group in this country has gotten reparations. Every one of them, except for Black Americans. Except
because
for
we're property.
They didn't go through any great lengths or anything like that to get them. They were ready to concede and give us reparations. Martin Luther King, who was the spokesperson for us, he opted for integration. They were ready to concede and give it to us. So no, it doesn't take all that for us to get it. But I agree that after we get it, those things are important in order to maintain it. And, for us to be self-sufficient as a nation within a nation, as you speak of. I just spoke to somebody day before yesterday, that stays over in the Native American village. And I mean, I can only imagine the heights that Black people will go to. This sister was telling me, she has a connect, she's older sister who's living with somebody in the Native American village across the street from Seminole Hard Rock. I didn't even realize that that's a whole Native American reservation. Right around there. These are beautiful homes. There's a whole community inside that it's gated with the Seminole logo and all that shit. They got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. Free. What? You live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo, beautiful home, free of charge. All they have to pay is maintenance. Can you imagine if Black folks, if we had that type of help, that type of, restitution, dude, we'd be running the country. This is why they don't want to, they don't want to give it up. They can very well give it up. You feel me? But we have to make them. And one of the places that we hold leverage is with our vote. Like you said, 45.
That's actually the easiest place, which is so sad. That's I mean, literally, all you have to do. You don't even have to buy anything. You have to go anywhere. Literally, you just have to literally sit your ass at home. Whatever you normally be doing.
Just don't go.
Yeah, turn your volume up a little bit, Bobby. Yeah, that's real. We have no discipline. Is the long and short of it, because we keep repeating the same thing every election cycle.
Can you fellas see me a little better now?
That's a question.
I was saying, I mean, You don't even have to pay for anything. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to. Literally, all you gotta do is whatever you would normally be doing at this time when people are voting. Do that. If you would normally be watching TV, sit your ass on the couch and watch TV. Read something. Go to the park. Play some basketball. Go to the gym. That's all you have to do. Nothing. And unfortunately, we've shown that doing nothing is just too expensive even for us to do. So you know damn well we're not going to go ahead and pay or do something more strenuous at that. If you can't simply just go and just not put your ballot for people that's not doing anything for you.
One more quick point, because I know Moon has something to say. One more quick point, and to those people who are really in the know of how the foundational Black American thing works, or whatever the case may be, no, they're not telling, you know, Jamaicans, Haitians, or anybody else that they don't deserve reparations. You clearly do. But they're saying, okay, we need to all go to the respective governments that colonized and or enslaved us, and that is where we need to make our claim. That's what they're saying. So, you know, like the Caribbeans, they have a reparations claim bureau. It's called CARICOM. In Africa, they have AFRICOM. We can't go and claim anything from CARICOM or from AFRICOM. You know what I'm saying? And it is well put together in the respect that it is organized in that capacity. Hey, all of us need to holler at the respective governments that owe us. And, you know, provided, you know, it did come along, so goes the United States. Usually so goes the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? When we, you know, did our thing here, it inspired brothers and sisters overseas in South Africa, you know, and we were instrumental in helping in that to overthrow apartheid. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have a tendency to inspire Black people all over the world to do. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you know, as the best as the best well-off Black people globally, it's what we are considered here. I think that if we make that push, it'll have a chain reaction, and brothers and sisters in other countries will start to get their reparations too. But we all have to be very serious. And even, you know, a lot of the foreigners that are here, they go out of their way to talk about how they don't accept Black Americans getting reparations. Sheila Jackson Lee was a prime example. She was in the damn government working in Congress. And this heifer came out talking about how, oh, you know, we don't need no reparations. Jim Clyburn, aka Mr. Bojangles himself. Y'all niggas don't need no reparations. I wish somebody would hit this nigga. Like, real talk. I mean,
step and fetch it.
It's step and fetch it himself. But this is the representation that we have in Congress. You understand? And in the Senate, you know, just about all of the Black people in the Congressional Black Caucus, I call them the Congressional Black Caucus, all of them are against reparations. Barack Obama was against reparations. And you have to stop and ask yourself.
For Black people.
For Black people specifically, because
let's make that clear.
You said that. Because that's
we got people getting reparations right now from this country who weren't even wronged by the country. They were actually liberated by this country.
The Jews get reparations, and the Holocaust didn't even happen here. All right? Bojangles, Jim Clyburn, is all for Native Americans getting reparations. But when asked about Black Americans getting reparations, he's totally against it. Explain that. You understand what I'm saying? They can pay reparations to us. It's just a matter of them understanding.
It's the will.
For them to have to.
It's the will.
It's the will. We not there yet. You feel me? But I believe that it's going to happen because more and more Black people are waking up. I mean, niggas who I knew were straight up coons that didn't have a clue. They talking like us now. So, and if you look at that Democrat support, you know, especially with Kamala, dudes is straight on Kamala Harris. They straight on her. They not checking for her like that. But we need to send a message that we are serious. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're running out of time, but I'll let Amon, you go ahead and say your piece.
I'll be brief. Firstly, everybody's making very valid points. Foundational Black Americans, I like you again. But all right, but the thing of the matter is this: if we got to the point of actually being self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I always ask, what if we don't get reparations? What do we do then? Well, we got to unite. How? Well, first of all, you don't have no black power without green power. So why don't you take that Balenciaga money and put it to the side?
Agreed.
And then you realize how much money, that Gucci money you have. Stop buying Gucci. Stop buying Fendi. Stop buying Prada. Stop buying Christian Dior, Tory and Birch. You name it. All the stuff that's called. Stop buying, Yeezys or whatever that crap is. And just sit back for a second, stack your money, and you'll realize you actually sitting on close to $1 trillion.
Real talk.
You spending money on BS.
I'm glad you said that, Mark. Real quick, I just want to insert this in to make that so powerful. What he's saying is, y'all basically are funding the people that y'all complaining about. Because if you complain about Trump or the Republicans so much, those companies pretty much fund the Republican Party, because the Republican Party is pretty much the corporation party.
Right.
So all of that money you're doing, you're funding your own demise.
Agreed.
Yeah. So basically, we had a scenario of talking about we hate crack, but we keep buying it. You understand what I'm saying? So if we actually got to the point of some maturity and some financial discipline, all right, you don't have to buy Movado. They got Tally and Twine.
My shit right there.
I got to set myself. My wife does too. Me and my wife got a matching set. You know, you don't have to buy Nike. Got the guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's always a black alternative to what they're doing, but we don't want that because it ain't in style. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're doing is messing up you're messing up your money before there, but yet we complaining about capitalism. I never seen so many activists wearing Jordans.
Hold up. What about doing Cadillac commercials? Shout out to Jimmy Sabaz.
Yeah. I hate capitalism. And I'm like, they say I hate capitalism. I say, you hate capitalism? I say, yeah. I say, I'm a black capitalist. So what you mean? I said, do you wear underwear? Yeah, you're a capitalist. Do you brush your teeth? Yeah, you're a capitalist. Do you have shoes? Yeah, you're a capitalist. Do you have pants? Yeah, you're a capitalist. Do you live in a house? Yeah, you're a capitalist. This is a capitalist world, a capitalist society. You're going to be a capitalist. I'm just a black capitalist, which means I fund my people before I fund troglodytes.
Real talk. Exactly. Real talk.
And I have the financial discipline to do so.
Correct.
Well,
even my clients that I work for are predominantly black.
Well said.
Amazing.
All right. I'm gonna digress with this. As long as we off code, we ain't going nowhere, man.
Correct.
That it's just plain and simple. If we can't ban the NFL together, we sure ain't gonna be able to ban the vote together.
Real talk.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying.
To go. Real talk.
Real talk. All right. So I know we got to get out of here, but I want to hit the crown check for tonight before all these gentlemen on stage say their last piece. And our crown check for tonight is a super, super, super dope young lady. Let me get her other video too. So her name is, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but her name is Kaylee Patterson. Y'all know who Kaylee Patterson is?
No.
All right, so here's Kaylee Patterson. Shout out to this dope little sister. All right.
Okay.
Seen this video of this girl chewing her gum, plotting out her path, and then sliding on these boys. But me being me, I just had to see more. Once again, give me the ball. Skirt! Every boy on the field in the same position. Coach standing there like, here we go. Look how the tables have turned. Oh, the boys got cooties. Whoop! It's that little last minute whoop. The body control. Sitting there like I tried to take her flag and I took a seat. Watch the sideline. Damn it! That boy was fed up and then had to go jog to get the ball back. This is the frustration of a man whose pregame speech 100% mentioned that they were girls. Look, as soon as she get that sweep, me, arre. Homie already know what it is. He not even looking at the ball carrier. He looking down the field to see how many yards he got to catch her. She's sliding. Girl dads everywhere smiling at they phone. As soon as she get this ball, gone. Like, really look how she's running, though. I can hear the fast sounds through the screen. I cannot wait to see this girl in high school. It's her body control to dip, step back, spin into a karaoke. This can only mean one thing. She's got Reggie.
All right, and here's the next video.
Can't do stuff, but boys can. Girls can do anything.
She's fast and quick. She can stop on a dime and then just take off. It's kind of amazing.
There's a lot of things that Kaylee does that she's not taught. That does seem like a natural ability.
She runs really fast, and her takeoff speed's amazing.
My name is Kaylee Patterson. I'm 10 years old, and I play flag football.
Sick. Oh, man. All right. Legit.
The filthiest of the nasty works.
Yeah, that was crazy.
For a patented move called the dip.
The dip move that I do is getting low and dragging your feet on the ground.
You want people to miss your flag. And so you're not touching the ground, but you really get low and kind of slide through a defender. So as a defender is trying to reach your flag level is so low that they can't. And you explode out of that dip and accelerate. And she's learned to do that really well. Something that is far beyond a skill set of most 10-year-olds that you see, boy or girl.
Her greatest skill or attribute on the field is her vision. You can't teach that. You know, she could just see things happening before they really happen. That just makes her quicker than everyone else.
Kaylee first expressed to me that she wanted to take football serious at a very young age. I put her in flag football at 4 years old just to give it a try. We would throw the ball around the house and she took interest to it, so I wanted to formally introduce her to a form of the sport and flag.
I love being competitive and having fun with friends. My biggest inspirations are my parents, mostly, because they motivate me a lot and they love what I'm doing.
Having a dad that played football and it was ecstatic to have a daughter that loved football was certainly something that we were going to run away with.
He's my dad, parent, and coach.
All right, let's start with just a dynamic warm-up. Get your arms loose. I want you to pump your arms if you're running a route, right? And we'll just throw a few passes before we start, all right?
The way it feels having my dad coach me is that he tries to push me harder every play.
Kaylee's greatest skill is being able to show up every day and be consistent and working hard no matter what's going on in life. She's busy, but she always comes in and makes whatever she's doing at the moment her priority.
She's just tough, and I love that, you know, especially in football plays. She goes hard. She gets that from her mother.
Sometimes the people that come up to me after the games say, "Wow, you're so good. How do you do this stuff?" And I just say, I train and the hard work pays off. And some boys don't really do that, but mostly girls.
She never quits and she always wants more. She's always ready to go. And she always wants that next championship ring or just the win. I love it.
My goals are for this season is to win 3 upcoming tournaments and to be on the USA team.
With our training, we normally work on progressing her movement skills and refining her form to make her more efficient on the field. So we work on a lot of plyometrics and movement skills on the turf, deceleration, and being able to control her slowing down or landing and then being able to move on from that, and her lateral movements, being able to evade defenders and quickly get around them and get to the end zone. So we work on being able to create that force and then control it.
So the ladders, that's all about foot speed, and Kaylee needs that in flag football. You know, to move those quick feet. Pushing the sled, that just helps with speed, to develop in speed, getting her knees up. The hurdles, that's more foot speed and quickness, agility work. It all ties in for football, for on the field. We don't allow her crying, because she will whine sometimes with my workouts. But she hates me in the beginning, but she loves me in the end.
You ready? Now from here. Let's go.
I do her strength training, so just to watch her get stronger with a little bit of weights that she's allowed to play with. She just picks it up so quickly, and it's awesome to watch.
So when I got COVID and I was stuck in my room, I wrote a goals list. Number 1 was have more composure in a game. Number 2 was be on the USA flag team. Number 3 was work out at the gym more. 4, win a national championship. 5, run routes harder. And 6, get faster. 4 of the 6 I achieved. This picture is Coach Welter. She sent me this in the mail with the gift, and she signed it for me. It really means a lot to me that she knew me and she sent me things. This book is from Coach Welter, and she signed it too, and she wrote me a little note. And I love this book because it's all about her journey, and it motivates me so much.
I think it's great that Kaylee is playing football. I love seeing, female athletes in any sport and then crossing over into a male-dominant sport of football and really taking it on and making it her own and being great at it. I think it's fantastic.
I play hard with the girls. I also play hard with the boys, but I want the boys to know how good I can be. And girls can do anything they put their mind to.
I'm just really proud that she is somebody that is almost like a mini ambassador for the sport of flag football for women. A lot of people don't understand it. You have to see it before you really get it. And there are thousands of girls across the country that are good. And I think that, she kind of opens up those doors for exposures for others. And that's something that's probably more important than the individual things that she gets.
Something that I would say to young girls is you'll probably love it. Don't discourage yourself. It's fun and competitive, and never give up.
Some of the things I instilled in Kaylee was never give up, always work hard. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
Kaylee literally gets no days off. I watch her social media, and she's always on the road traveling from one sporting event to the next sporting event, and she never complains, and she literally has no days off.
No days off really means pushing myself harder every day.
All right, so shout out to Kaylee Patterson for being a phenomenal young girl, making her mark and her legacy as she go on. Super dope.
Nice. Okay. Bet.
Sensational.
Sensational. Shout out to the young sister. I love to see things like this because, unfortunately, I hate to say this out loud, but I gotta do it. Not enough older sisters are setting positive role model examples for young women. So it's nice to see the young women doing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the adults in the room are behaving like children. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen a lot of younger sisters, doing this type of thing. Shout out to her and to others. They kind of have to be their own role models because, unfortunately, a lot of these older sisters are not setting the proper example for a lot of these young sisters. It's sad. I know a few. I can count them on one hand. If you're talking about well-known public figures, remember the other day we were looking, Anthony put up a post where he was looking for people to tag him, telling them what intellectual thought leaders were out here for women specifically. If you ask me for men, I can name Tariq Nasheed. I can name David Banner. I can name Jason Black. I can name Professor Black Truth. I can go on all day. Unfortunately, too many women out here are not known for what they have up here or what positive attributes outside of their bodies they're contributing to society, their greatness in other ways, and this young sister, she's doing something very positive and she's showing, the contribution that she's making, in this physical arena. You know what I'm saying? She's a very talented young woman. That's what's up. That is to be revered. We have to get more in the vein of doing that. I also said to Anthony on that same post, I spoke of, I drew a blank. I could name Erica Lachey and like two other people, sort of, kind of, but the problem is they're not well known enough, for what he was talking about. Erica Lachey is very well known. I know some sisters personally. I know Sister Mila Renee. I know Sister Mona Lisa Weber. I know a few, but again, they're not well known like that. And the reason why they're not well known like that is because, ladies, you don't gravitate to and support women who are going to show you a way that you can really elevate yourselves. Women, broadly speaking, because most of Erica Lachey's audience is men. If we go keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? And so I really, really appreciate that. I would like to see more sisters go out of their way to promote women that lead with this and with this. You understand what I'm saying? With their heart and with their minds, instead of every time, you see a camera, you want to bend over and twerk, because I see women all day putting up Cardi B quotes, you know, and I mean, literally women in their 40s and 50s, you know, posting Meg Thee Stallion twerking at the presidential campaign for Kamala Harris, like that's some sort of accomplishment or something that you should be getting behind.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's a trickle down effect, because young women like this, you know, they see that and they think that that's the thing to do. So, you know, it doesn't miss me that this young woman, her father is in her life. You understand what I'm saying? And you see what he's pushing her towards. You see the direction he's pushing her in. That's a beautiful thing, and it's a very powerful thing, you know, and I just want to see more women get away from the embrace of thought culture and start promoting things like this. You know, I love it. I would like to see more grown women doing this type of thing. But in order to do that, you got to be into fitness a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? I see them posting, you know, videos of them twerking or videos of them in Vegas giving massages. But I say that out loud, but I don't see them, you know, putting up stuff like this. You dig? I don't see any of them putting up stuff like this about themselves or their female offspring. You dig? So it's great to see young women focusing on these type of things and getting the respect that she's getting. She's getting respect from the boys. You dig? She's getting respect from the boys. She's getting respect from the trainers, you know, and she's not being sexualized because she's not presenting herself that way. And that's dope. That's dope as hell. You know, I think it's very important that, you know, Black people, but Black women more specifically, take control of the images that are being put forth of young Black girls and Black women, because there is a concerted effort to pervert and destroy those images. And I'll park my SUV.
Well said. Hey, I just want to point out, man, shout out to the fathers that's involved in their children's lives, man, because when you're looking at Steph Curry, you look at the Ball brothers, you look at LeBron, you know, when you see that even with the Serena sisters, that these fathers are putting behind these children and have navigated their careers, they have become exceptional athletes and children. And that's the kudos to, you know, the fellas out there that's handling business, the leadership that they provide to their children. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yes.
Go ahead, cook for us, Bobby.
Shout out to her. Also, really quick to piggyback on what you said, Major, I would also go so far as to say that typically when you, like you said, it's not just Eric and Lachey, but typically when you do have a sister that is known for presenting knowledge or presenting intellectual substance, 9 times out of 10, her support base is going to be men.
Yeah.
9 times those women, and the funny thing is, it's across the board. It doesn't matter, because even if you look at, for example, even if you want to go on the other side of the spectrum, if you want to go on, I wouldn't call it political, but if you want to look in the political realm or whatever, when you look at the conservative or the conservative side of the game, you look at Candace Owens. She's supported by conservative women, but most of the people that listen to her are conservative males there as well.
That's correct.
When a woman and she says BS, but she's also intelligent. You can tell she's intelligent. She plays the dummy card and she plays blind on a lot of things, but she's actually a very intelligent woman. But again, intelligence appeals to men, it seems, not women as much. But everything else that involves being sexualized and everything else, that's what appeals to the women. That's what the women are gravitating towards. So I just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, big ups to Kaylee. That's amazing. Her far more than her actual performance, and I'll just say I had to grab my knee because I'm seeing that dip that she did. That's a wrestling maneuver right there. They call that shooting when you have someone that that sticks the foot out and they kind of like get low so they can kind of dodge the opponent's defense or to go into the arms, whatever, and come up to go for a takedown or secure a leg or a waist lock.
Yeah.
That's called shooting. Look, every now and then I'll do that in training, but I hate that shit. My knees hate it with a passion.
Right.
Like if I do 3 or 4 or 5 of those in a day, tomorrow I'm gonna know I did it the next day, man. That's some serious work. To be able to do that at full speed, to dodge in football and on turf with cleats. Her athleticism is through the stratosphere. But more than anything of that, I mean, forget the accomplishments, forget the rings that she's got, forget her abilities on and off the field. All that is great and I love it. But I'm far more impressed with her mind, with the work ethic that she has, the dedication to what she loves. And just to shout out to people, you don't necessarily have to be good at something to be dedicated. You can have a hobby, whether it doesn't matter if you're terrible at singing, you're horrible at writing, or your poetry is garbage, or whatever the case may be. You don't have to be good at something to love it. Just the fact that you get an enrichment, that you're dedicated to it, you do it day in, day out. If you could get paid, or if you could just get away with doing it for free, you do it. You just love it so much. That's a passion right there. Now, if you happen to be good at your passion, you can typically flip that into making a profit. But you don't have to be good at something to love it and give it your all. Just the fact that it enriches you, it puts a smile on your face, it invigorates you, you look forward to doing it. That's the reward in and of itself right there. For her to have that kind of work ethic, that drive to work, like they said, no days off. Every day, she's at it again. She's at it again. She's locked down with COVID. She's out here coming up with goals and saying, I'm going to do X, Y, Z to get better at the thing I love. That right there is amazing to see from someone as young as her. You got people 4 or 5 times her age that don't have that level of focus, discipline, and that aren't that settled. That's absolutely amazing. I'm proud of her. And I don't know what she's going to do later on with her life, but all I'm saying is someone sell me some season tickets. I want a front row seat to what she does with her life, because I know that whatever it is, it's going to be spectacular. Because with that kind of work ethic, that drive, that discipline and focus, those internal attributes, you could blindfold her, spin her around upside down, and launch her halfway across the world. Wherever she gonna land, she gonna turn shit into sugar.
Real talk.
Period.
Real talk.
That's someone that you bet, right? You can put your mortgage on her. You will get your return on your investment every single time. So be proud of her. In summation, we talked about a lot of things tonight. I wouldn't so much say that we got off topic, because I think our topic, even though the focal point initially was Noah Lyles and the mindset and attitude, really he was just I would say a lightning rod, but he wasn't the whole focus, because that could really go to a number of different things. And I'd say that's one of the reasons why I was able to branch out the way he did. Ultimately, I would say that it's definitely important, whether you're confident or arrogant, it's important to be able to back up your talk. Don't be out here confident and believing in yourself, or being arrogant, and you don't have any wins, you don't have the drive or the work ethic, you don't have those things behind you that contribute to that. All right? And it's important. You can be confident, but you need to make sure, and we've spoken about this a little bit before as well, it's important that your confidence has some roots to it.
Level-headed, yep.
Because what's going to happen is, if you have all this confidence, all this self-belief, but you're not generating anything, nothing is manifesting, nothing is fruiting from it, what's going to happen is you're going to start to doubt yourself. At some point, the investment, the belief, the verbal investment, the mental investment, at some point it has to pay dividends. I'm not telling you that you need to give up on your dream, give up on your pursuits, but comes a point where you need to be realistic.
Right.
And it's important to have, and I think that's what you were alluding to before, Anthony, it's important to have people that you trust in your circle who are intelligent, they're wise, they're level-headed, and they can reel you in, and they can give you the game, and that you listen to them. And most importantly, you create a culture in your friend circle, in your inner circle, where honesty is welcomed and appreciated. And that's very difficult to attain the higher up you get. That might be very difficult for Noah to pull off right now because he's an Olympic level athlete. You know, he's got all kind of endorsement deals. He's making paper. People all over the world know his name. It's going to be very difficult to draw in people, if they weren't already there, who have your best interest at heart, that can tell you, hey, Noah, you messing up, man. You dropping the ball. You need to do X, Y, Z. When you have yes men in your corner, you are destined for failure.
Yep.
You cannot succeed. It is impossible for you to thrive if you have yes men and yes women in your corner. You may have reached a certain level, but once you're there, you need to make sure that you're tightening and dialing in. You need more than ever to have people who have their feet on the ground around you. Right? How often do we see celebrities or people who they've done very well for themselves, but because of their success, they've completely lost touch with the ground around them? They out here talk all kind of nonsense. They don't know what's really happening with the man on the street, the woman on the street. They're completely out of touch. And it's because they're not in those places where they can get a sense of reality, but they also have people around them who can do that for them. So, and like you said, I don't necessarily have an issue with the arrogance and the cockiness he's displaying. If that's the character, if he wants to take on the villain persona to go ahead and drum up his marketing, I got no issue with that. What bothers me is when that's part of the package and you see that it's part of a package of messiness where he's out here leaking the pillow talk that he's got going on with his lady, where he's out here taking digs at other people. That shouldn't be the case. If you're gonna do that, you want to take barbers and shots, you can take barbers and some of the Jamaican runners, the Kenyan runners, the Swiss runners. That's cool. You beefing with home team. Why are you out here beefing with your fellow American basketball players and it's supposed to be Team America out here? That to me is what indicates that he doesn't have the proper guidance, and I hope he's not at a point where he thinks he's above that, because he is a young dude. He's 27, but at the same time, he's 27. He's not exactly 18 years old. So he's almost around the corner from 30. Older you get, the more locked in your ways you tend to be, and I would hate for him to have to suffer a huge defeat, a huge setback, and that's what it takes him to wake up and realize that, you know, we need to kind of temper this a little bit. We can be here so far, but we need to make sure we have that proper balance in the other ways around. So that's what's going to definitely keep you that, because you can run that game. It's a very effective game. You got brothers like Floyd Mayweather who have come up very nice off of that, and to this day, even with his exhibition matches, you know, he still has people that are willing to break the bank literally on him just because they're hungry to see him lose, and he's be able to make that work to his advantage. But if you talk to Floyd is also pretty grounded, pretty level-headed. I've seen him in interviews, whatever. And he makes it clear that, you know, I'm here, but I'm not out of my mind. I know what I'm doing. I don't get that touch from Noah. I don't know, maybe someone like Floyd could sit him down and talk to him who have been where he is and can kind of show how this goes. But it's important that you have guardrails on your journey. And I don't get the sense that he has guardrails in his journey. And this is true for anybody else. Make sure that you never get to a point where you're above telling. Nobody knows everything. The second you get to the point where you think that you know it all, you understand it all, you just shown yourself that you really don't know a damn thing at all. Because you're always going to be in a constant state of attaining. And every time you make an advancement, you're going to find out that this ocean just got a whole lot wider. I made one step, and I thought I had 18 more steps to go, and until I took this step, and now I realized, damn, I got a whole mile left. And I go ahead and cross that mile. I got some light years to go. So make sure you get to a point where you're not above telling, where people can't come to you and give you constructive criticism. Not bullshit, not idle chatter, but constructive criticism. All right? So that's what I have to say for the night. Other stuff we're going to get into a little bit later on down the line. We have a show we're going to get into some good political game with y'all, some good economic game with y'all again, with Ricky. Make sure you follow it, you liking and subscribing to the channel. You see we bring this substance. We don't give you bubble gum. We give you meat, potatoes. We give you asparagus. We give you mineral water. We give you nutrition over here.
Asparagus, nigga.
We got you healthy out here. You eating good living, good living.
Yeah.
That's how we do over here. Go ahead, click that bell icon, subscribe to all notifications. Out of all the channels on YouTube, you're only going to hear from us when we have fresh fire for you. And when do we light the match for that fresh fire? Every Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You dig?
So go ahead, kicking it back over to Anthony. We'll catch y'all next week, same time, same place. You know the vibes.
Before we get out of here, I did want to just show this one thing real quick because it's very important. Like I say, I love the brother Noah Lyles. I think he has a great future ahead of him. But there's some arrogance to him that I really didn't like. One of the things that he was very arrogant about and very egotistical, because egotistical and arrogance kind of run side by side, that he had COVID. Listen, I want to talk to all the athletes. We're going into football season. Any sports that's in the fall right now, the COVID is running rampant right now. They're not talking about it, but people are catching COVID left and right, and it messes with your lung system, right? So it could be very, very deadly with you. With Noah Lyles, he had COVID 2 days before his race, where he knew he had it 2 days before his race. He didn't tell anybody. That is very, 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 very egotistical, very arrogant, and very careless and selfish of yourself to do that. Because why wasn't it so important for me to address this? Is because Noah Lyles' mother exposed Paris Olympics fiasco during son's 200 of COVID, right? And why she was mad about it is because she said, this was one of the scariest moments of my life. Watching my son hold his chest, gasping for air while in the stadium, security refused to call a doctor as I begged them to send him help. They also refused to do anything to help. They totally ignored me. No parent should ever have to experience this feeling of helplessness. All right? So I don't want you guys to put your family, especially your mother, you know she loves you, to put her in harm's way like that because you wanted a narrative that if you won the gold, you would have told everybody, I did it, and I did it with COVID. And that shit, you could have dropped dead at that finish line trying to fill an image of the world or trying to write this big narrative. It's gonna come. No need to force it. Put your life, make sure your life is first, because those medals ain't worth a damn. All right? And I want to leave you guys with that message and family members.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta put this this comment in the chat. You dig? Because our sister Funde Faye, apparently she created a wine to celebrate Anubis Gun Club's 7th anniversary. I just was scrolling on Facebook and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So congratulations to Anubis Gun Club's 7th anniversary. We were just talking to Brother Moon, who was on not too long ago. Congrats. And I put the link for the wine that this Black-owned wine company, Sister Funde Faye, she has apparently made a wine for this brother to celebrate his 7-year anniversary of his gun club. So I just wanted to shout that out, and I put the link in the comments for y'all to check out. Blessings.
Definitely. Hey, we thank everybody for coming out for this show. I know it's extra long, but it was very, very much needed. So we'll definitely see you guys next week. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and we see y'all next week. All right? Peace.
Yeah.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 20.